Child of God. Let's see what that looks like.
Dear God, thank you for leading me down this path. I'm thankful for the man that I am. At first, I didn't understand. Now I see the tribulations that I faced were all part of the plan. I tried to walk away, I wasn't whole. You fill the gap inside my heart and let me know I had a soul. I was bleeding on the inside, nobody could see. Then I looked into the mirror, he was staring back at me. Now I gotta say, I was lost, where'd I go? Now I'm here, glory road, child of God, not a sheep. Lost my way, came on home. Used to think the world was cold and I was fighting all alone, until I made that call and heard his voice and touched right through that phone. All my pain, all my stress, added to the dumb neglect. I used to take my burdens and disperse around to all my friends. Anger and frustration was a means, but never to an end, until you picked me up and took that weight right up off my chest. A child of God, nothing more, nothing less. Born sinner, not by choice, but also born blessed. I could feel the pressure building up and choking at my neck. Then God told me take a breath and he would handle all the rest. I'm not a stranger to evil, I've done wrong to people, I've told lies, but in his eyes I am still equal. My words weaponized, bars save lives, they lethal and take off in the sky, spread wings like eagles. My life's an open book, something for the world to see. People watching what I do, so I'm careful of words I speak. Came up as a child, I never thought that this was what I'd be, but now that it's my path, I swear to God that I won't fail to lead. Speaking positivity with every single breath I breathe. Working up to God, I'm on my hands and down on my knees, asking him to grant me with the strength in this world to breathe, to be the person that will have a shoulder when they need to lean. Promises I made to you, God, yes I will keep. May not be who they want, but I'm making what they need. Rose from the dirt in the middle of the concrete. I'm glued to a tree to create and disperse seeds. Impact is what I breed, won't fall for anything. I answer to God, I don't answer to no human being. I am not a slave, I am not the devil nor a fiend. I'm a child of God, just like you, we on the same team. Grab my hand, stand up, I won't leave you. You need me just as much as I need you. Fight these battles with me, I promise that you will see through and stand tall over things beneath you. Child of God, he is I and you are him. To see God, we must first look within. Nowhere else, no place, no human, no race, just us and faith till we meet again. It's that we're all created in God's image, each and every single one of us.
Hope everything comes out okay.
Receive love. Have faith. Amen.
Yeah. What's going on, everybody? How we doing? Man, that song is the universe talking to the external entities of our world, saying that I am a child of God, and I'm here to help humanity evolve. That's all. That's my purpose on this planet, is to help humanity evolve as they see fit, without causing a single ounce of pain. As much of it as we can avoid for those who understands what's happening through this collective. And so, right, I've discovered my purpose, and to know that I've been sent to planet Earth to help everyone, the collective. For those, like, the collective is, for those who don't know what the collective is, it is real. If you've seen the collective come across your page or something, I need you to know that is as real as going to Walmart or to your corner store or going to get gas. The collective is a real thing. Like, I know they talk to me. We are telepathic. They try to communicate. We're trying things. We're trying to understand life, right? And so I've been seeing now. I can see the world in a way that most people can't. Right? I did a video speaking about how I can see from 6 dimension, 5 dimension, 4 dimension, 3 dimension. And these densities, actually, not dimensions, densities. And I wasn't sure that that was a real thing, right? Like, I was just in my head, like, just spitting knowledge. And I played this video that explained something where they were talking about people operating in the 5th density. And I was just like, I get it. I get why I'm so different. Because I operate from the 6th density. I have no judgment to anything. That's why I don't like labels. That's why I cannot stand labels. Like, I get it. You want to describe them as this. Okay, yes. And so it's also giving me quite the teeth when people will say, oh, I'm going to be labeling. Well, fine, it's you. You can label if you want to. I don't do labels anymore. Everybody is equal. Everybody's the same. Everybody deserves the same rights. Everybody deserves the same love. There's nobody who deserves nothing less. And if you, as a person, believe in that, then that is you who has service to self. If you believe that, that's you having service to self. And people are going to want to know how to be this type of individual as opposed to seeing that you already are. You're choosing. And then you hear my story and how dark it has been. And then all of a sudden you start seeing the proof in the pudding. Like, you really can be a truly loving human being and have this gorgeous life. And so I have an opportunity to teach the world on how to be so loving to themselves that their lives can change in literally hours. I am not gassing you up. I'm not saying some cool shit. I'm not trying to put it out there like I'm just trying to be like, oh, yeah. No, I'm telling you right now that I have the verbal capacity to speak to you in under hours, change your entire life, and had no clue that that was real. Didn't I go to school for it? In a way, you can say I prayed for it. But this was not like knowledge sat down to me in a book and nope. This shit is real. The Confederation, raw contact, all that stuff, man. The law of one, all that 100%, y'all. To its very itty gritty, bottom bone, real. And I have not finished it because I feel like I wrote it. And so there's so much more for me to know as far as knowledge to gain, but it's no different than the things that I've already gained. And so I don't have to worry about having them. I show gratitude for the knowledge that's been gained thus far. And so if I remember something good, if I don't, then that's fine too. It's all good underneath the law of one, as long as her service to self or service to others is above 51%, you're doing good. And you can always have that higher level of understanding. Your wisdom and your love can be continuously compassionate 24/7. And I know how to live like this because I literally just did the test run on myself for like 39 years. And they figured out how to get 6 density beings onto planet Earth. And I am a 6 density being. And so I don't know if there's more. But if you understand densities, and so 5th density is love, joy, peace, enlightenment. And 4th is the logic and the understanding and the willingness, right? And then 3rd is your hunger and your sadness and grief and things of that nature. And so I don't stick to any of those emotions. I allow them to be for what they may be. If I'm sad, I'm sad. If I'm hungry, I'm hungry. If I'm horny, I'm horny. That's just how I feel. You can judge me if you want to. That's up to you. But then I use my willingness to how I want to conduct myself when I feel these feelings. If I'm sad, that doesn't mean I'll drive my car off the bridge. It means that I can sit down and meditate. And that sadness can be appreciated just like the joy that I have. Why does my sadness not get love? My sadness deserves love just as much as my joy does. And so I show my love sadness, and that sadness ascends. And then it has this consistency, and then I start using that understanding towards my wisdom of the pattern of me constantly sitting down when I'm sad or expressing myself in what we call, effective communication. Because of this consistency, it has allowed me to see that we're choosing as humans to be unloving to things. I can see from the 5th density people like you can see me, but it's easier for me to just be me than try to explain it sometimes. And so those who've been around me has experienced what it's like to be around a person from 6th density. And so it's quite different energetically. I affect you in a way that is very, right? And it's dope because I kept wavering from throughout the densities and trying to find myself. That's the whole purpose of it, right? And so It might sound all like, woogie woogie, but it's the more I, connect the dots, I start to see that because of the sexual molestation and being born on drugs and having sex with people at the age of 3 and having memories of doing things that is quite uncomfortable for a 3-year-old. And then being molested from those ages through foster care. And then to be adopted and so psychologically abused that I was pushed to the brink of defending myself against my father. And a son should never have to do that. But yet here we are. And so through statistics, I shouldn't have been as loving as I am. I shouldn't have tried to been married. I shouldn't have tried to join the military. I shouldn't try to be a soldier and a father. And I should have been abusive towards women. I should have been all these other different things. And this is not to say that I've never made a mistake. By view to everyone's perception, we have that reality. But through this consistency has now shown that we as humans can live in a different density with a precision that's so sharp that all you have to do is just love yourself, which allows you to be true to you, which allows you to understand that the things that feel good to you will have you in a higher vibration. And the longer you stay in that vibration, the closer you get to living in the 5th density. And the longer you live in 5th density, it would get you to 6th density. Now, there are people who've probably obtained 6th density living, but by the time they got ready to teach or show to, for lack of better words, do something different to help, the greater humanity, something negative would happen. Or they'll get caught off in 5th density because of all the love and the attraction. Loving this way will have people wanting to be with me in a very strong physical way from every group of sexuality. And I have many stories now that fit this, and I've seen its existence. And so when you get to that level of peace, joy, and enlightenment, you're supposed to be there, but you can still allow yourself to be corrupted, if you will. Right? This is where you get your gain, your celebrity status and your fame and everything. And so somehow the universe has been paying attention and knowing like this kid's about to pop. This is what they mean. Like this kid's about to pop. So it's kind of like I'm about to pop, like for real, like all bullshit to the side, like it's about to happen. All right. And so now it's just like, well, is it going to be another rapper? Like, nope. Right? What's he going to be? Like what's his thing? What's his right? And so for lack of better words, it would be strong in the spiritual world without a label. Because from the 6th density, I don't see labeling. That's why I can love everybody truly for who they are. Like I can look at you and love Chevy. What's up, love? And love Fairy. What's up, Fairy? What's in love, Ambrosia? What's up, Ambrosia? Just like I love my ex-wife. Just like I love my ex-girlfriend. Just like, and it's like when people start seeing it, like, and then the stories start coming out and everything. And after a while, through consistency, you'll see. And then the world is going to start realizing, like, loving like this. And there's all types of things. I have increased mobility, strength, stamina, I'm 176 now. I think faster than most people can understand what the hell I'm saying. And in a way where I can still make it applicable and be enjoyable without feeling like, I've lost my rabbit mind. I talk to people all day in my head, not sure who it is. We've done some things, right? And I'm not like, I know that I'm on live saying it, but it's just like, for those who get it, and I see the gratitude and everything, right? I am a 6th density being here to help humanity rise to its highest level of consciousness. And I've been chosen, right? So I am, right? I just don't know how many more there are right now. And so as I speak, I want you to know that right now you're healing. I am currently healing you, and I have the science. If the scientists were here, I could break it down to their ears, and they'd be like, well, if that's true, and that's true, and then he understands this. He's healing you. So as I speak, my words start healing you. However, the quote-unquote healing is by your view to perception. If you're accepting to what it is I'm saying, then that's your core, right? You feel good. So you ever heard somebody say something to you that you didn't feel good about, that you didn't understand? It kind of leaves you with this feeling like, oh, yeah, I don't really understand what they're saying. And so what happens through the consistency of listening to someone that understands you, and you're like, damn, I understand this guy. I've never met him. I've never seen him. I feel so connected to him. Like, what the fuck is happening here? It's because what you call healing is that you're finding what you see as true you. So 39 people are here and they're catching what they're called their true you, and everybody else is in alignment. And so you start to feel stronger. I become that person where you're like, I want to watch you. I've been watching all your videos. That's why my views only got like 3 likes, but it's like 300 people, 300 views. I'm like, you know why I ain't famous yet? You know what I'm saying? And so now I get it. And so it's not about the whole, being famous. It's that the world has understood that so many people were quote unquote making it. But what's the angle here? Because you can amass so much power and cause damage. And so the universe understands that the government, if you will, or the people who are watching are seeing this guy and they're like, holy shit, he's about to go. And now they're looking at it like, and the universe has finally got them to see he's not going to hurt anybody. Let him have it. Let him have it. Like, he's going to care for people. Like, check the records. He's got 5 kids and 4 children's mothers. He's doing the best he can with what he got. Like, you understand, like, we have made sure that we beat the shit out this kid. We raped him. We was born on drugs. There's reports on it. His mom knows that he was raised around violence. He was raised around people being murdered. Like, this kid has survived being starved. We made sure that there was times, right? For those who understand what I'm saying, and for aliens, if you will, they're inside, if you will, I'm being possessed, if you will. They understood when they almost lost me, almost got adopted. If I got adopted, I would have been adopted by more than likely what we call, to say, humanity's sake, of loving parents. And so loving parents would have reinvested and showed me love and compassion and all this other type of supportive environment, which would have made me stronger as a being, because they already had the energy inside, but they had to get it through all the ugly stuff. So when I came out to the world wouldn't have to be like, oh, that's fake. No, that's fake. Right. And so when it comes to that type of truth, and the value starts to show that the consistency is there, there's moments where I started to see where I would have made decisions, and I was asked to be adopted, and I was probably, I don't know, maybe 10, 11, 12, I don't know. And I said, yeah, I want to be adopted, but that's how I've learned that I couldn't be adopted by myself. And so then I realized that if I was adopted by myself, the person I am, I wouldn't have made it to be the person that I am. I am a 6th density being who's telling 35 people with a passion in my love, in my heart, that if you don't love everybody in your life right now, then long story short, ladies and gentlemen, you're in hell. And I have proof. Like 100% living proof. Like, if somebody called you, for lack of better words, and you're mad at them and you don't want to answer the phone because you're mad at them, you're in hell. I am living proof to understand that through the psychology behind it, just as something is simple, right? And when I say don't want to answer the phone, I'm not saying that if your intentions are like, so bill collector call, but I ain't answering that. And I meant that, right? As opposed to wanting to talk to somebody, but I don't have the emotional capacity to speak to them. Psychologically, you are in hell. If you cause any type of unkindness to anybody, even mentally, if you think about somebody, you're in hell. And as a humanity, people are walking around thinking about people in unkind ways. And I'm trying to get people to see, like, right? And I was doing like nice talk, like, no, let's go ahead and do this, man. Like, you're in hell. Like, all bullshit to the side. There is no hell, heat. Nah, that's not that. Stop that, right? What's happening is that we've got so many stories out there and so many different, this and that, and so many books, and right? There's a chewable way to say, hey, all you got to do is be 100% irrefutable evidence. Don't give a shit what nobody else say. Don't listen to nobody else but yourself. Even what I'm saying, investigate that shit. Be loving to you. Do what's good for you vibration. You say you don't know how to do it, tap that like button. My videos are showing, right? There's a school being built. Like, there's people like, there's a whole bunch of whole glory. Like, I am a billionaire right now, sitting in front of your face right now. All bullshit. As crazy as that sounds, right? I'm a billionaire. Maybe 2,000 in a bank, maybe 1,000. I don't know, right? But I know that this is real. And I'm just like, so now, right, I'm out of the closet. And so the videos will be doing well and all this other things. The book is on its way. Like, the system, the entity that created this is already communicated to the universe in a way, or to the people who's understanding the system, to let them through and show that, love. The love will be real. If not, then I'll still be able to do okay. My book is going to do well. Like, my book is, right, the universe is doing this thing and I get what's happening. And so when the book is released, I'll be doing my thing. People buy the book and I'll have nice houses, and right. But there's another angle here for those who get it, where we are helping humanity evolve. And I am a very big portion of it. like a really big, like an, oh, wow, right? Put it like this. Okay, no bullshit, right? I have so much money right now that I'll never see any of the money. Does that make sense? Like, there's no reason for me to manifest money because I now know all this shit is real. Money is just a form of expression for one to say that they find value to you. Well, money doesn't do anything for me because of the world that I came from. And so I can have all the money in the world or no money. I still be this person. Right. And so that's like, and we are all this person. And that's just the whole movement, is to help inspire people to reach that level of consciousness where them themselves have the same energy to their family, to their loved ones, to their work, to nature, to whatever, like whatever you feel like you want to, right? I already reached it. Like, I 100% reached it because I understand now I'm a sixth density being. Like, if I'm talking to you, I'm working. Like, that's the level I'm at. Like, if I'm talking to one person, I'm working. If I'm talking to myself, I'm building, I'm creating. If I'm talking to you, I'm working. Right? That's why I say I work for love. Oh my goodness. That's why I say I work for love. You're love. Right? So if I'm talking to you, I'm working. Right? When I make my videos and you see me talking to you, that's me working. Right? I make money in my sleep. Like, no shit. I've been doing it for like a year now. It's probably what people consider to be minuscule. But if somebody press play and it does this algorithm model, isn't that not money? And so you multiply that, boom, by whatever amount of time/years in your head. And just like that, you go from realizing that you yourself are constant creation. And so when you're talking to yourself, you are creating, because that's where your ideas and everything comes from. But when you're talking to everyone else, well, when I'm talking to everyone else, I'm 100% working. But here's the best part, ladies and gentlemen. I love my fucking job. So when I talk to you, I fucking love you. I am a sixth density being. This is fucking crazy. Like I could just be me. And for those who get it, who's like, that's just how he is. There's just no judgment to it. It's just, I'm ugly holds the same value as I'm pretty. I'm rich holds the same value as I'm broke. Like, I am a being that has no control over this, right? You could do the most scariest stuff. And I just like, no. I'm gonna take your kids. Yeah, that's happened before. That sucks. I'm gonna take your mom. Yeah, probably. That's happened too. And your wife. I had two of them. And all your friends, well, you should hear my foster stories. I can make you rich. That's not going to do anything. I'll make you homeless, probably. And I'll just die and come back. And I say this is another level, ladies and gentlemen. There's another level. So let's get into these comments. What's going on, y'all? Appreciate what's up, K. Marie? Yes, I wish more people would watch you. You are an amazing person. Thank you, K. Marie. Thank you, love. What's up, Fairy? Appreciate the love. You finally opened your Pandora's box. I did. That motherfucker busted wide open. That is nuts. Yeah, your bid is amazing. Thank you. Thank you, Black Woman Stan. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Molly Ma. What's up, Alina? You're burning in passion. I am lit in this motherfucker. I am Super Saiyan 29. I am bing. I realize I am God. I realize we are creators. I realize there's a whole movement. This is not fake. There's people talking to me. There's ideas. I understand shit that I've never read. Like, I'm not playing, y'all. Like, I got friends who like, you're Einstein, and because it was Einstein speaking, and I'm not playing. Like, there's shit that I can do, and you hear on paper like he just went to the military. Okay, he has a degree in psychology. All right, what the fuck is happening to this kid? And so that's what's happening right now. Like, everybody goes through bad stuff. His bad stuff wasn't as bad as his. How bad was his bad stuff? For how long? How long was his bad stuff? Like, how long was it? It wasn't that long. Every day, that kid, every day. And he's still loving. And he thinks he can help humanity. Okay, let's just watch him. And here it is. Money is a game. Live in abundance. Money is nothing. Money is a game. It's all in their air. It's there. Yes, it is. Yes, I hate ignoring people that need love. I love them regardless. Yeah, thank you for telling me that. It's only crazy if you don't believe it. Right? Hey, I believe it like a motherfucker, because if not, I am crazy. The process is happening. Correct love yourself before you can love others. Yep. Can't wait for your book. Thank you, Pineapple Juice. The process is happening. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Correct love yourself. Yes, dude. Your voice is insanely dope. Thank you, Sensitive T. My voice has something to do with it. They made sure my voice was deep. My grandmother from my adoption was a messenger of an angel. She was a messenger for me through how we understand Raw and all this other stuff. We're going to listen to Raw. And right, there's one of the many messengers. And she said, your voice is for the world. I'll never forget it. I was so scared. I used to, used to sing, and I went through puberty and it cracked. And I was all like, and she was my adoptive grandmother. So there was no reason for me to feel like that this was my great, my real grandmother. But for me, in my world, she really was. And I'll never forget it. She said, baby, she said, it's okay. She said, your voice is for the world. You'll see. Just watch. She was right. Right? Like, she was right. And there are many messengers. A lot of us have constant messages. Can you say finish him? What's up, Kyle? Dang, bro, your voice is amazing. Thank you, Kyle. Appreciate it, man. It's my puberty, man. What's up, Auto Group? Yeah, I've been there for a few months. What's up, Drago? Jesus with you. Jesus loves you. Thank you, Carissa. Jesus loves you, too. What's up, Chevy? Might be the way to catch you. I've already said you've helped me more in 5 minutes than my whole lifetime. Thank you, Changer. Love you, bro. Thank you, Maurice. Thank y'all for the support. This is nuts, y'all. Yeah, this is beautiful. Like, all right, like I'll do my marketing and everything. Like, there's a whole plan. Like, everything that's happening is already supposed to be happening, and it's doing its thing naturally. So it's like you just trust the system, and I'll explain it in a minute. That's why you don't got hair, because you think too fast for it. Fair enough, right? Can't catch up. Those childhood traumas will always show up when you're not healed and delivered. Yep, but understand your childhood traumas are your battlefields to get ready for the next level. So I ain't scared of shit. You know what I'm saying? When I say I got a game plan for people, I ain't playing. My childhood trauma is a fucking battlefield for the next level. So bring it on, motherfuckers. Right? When I say that I am afraid of nothing, I am not playing. There's another being inside of me. Thank you, Fairy. Gratitude as well. Thank you, Queen Leech. When I say there's another level, I'm not playing undefeated. Not, God damn it, y'all, I'm telling you, undefeated. If something's visiting in my head, my speed process on dealing with something that I consider to be quote unquote uncomfortable is so fucking fast. It's no different than how I think it was Drake talking about 72 hours, right? I was like, man, we didn't want to do that shit like in 5 minutes. When I say I process shit, that motherfucker fast, it's no different than hitting enter on a goddamn computer. When I say the brain is crazy powerful, the brain is crazy powerful. Never let that trauma hold you back. I always have said that. Yep, I'm sad today. They locked me up for a week and took my kid. No, what's up? What? Why? What's up? Beast mode indeed. Yes, yes, yes. When will your book come out? August is looking pretty good. Like, I'm waiting for one person. Like, I tried to do the book another way and it didn't happen. So whenever I do that, I'm like, well, I'm not going to do it again. It's a lot of work. Right. And then all of a sudden, no, I'm not gay. And all of a sudden I saw that my artwork was kind of delayed too. So I was like, I felt like I was rushing it. And so I felt this impatience towards my artwork. And then I was just like, maybe I shouldn't have that impatience towards my own work. And so I started to balance it out. And then before I knew it, the young gentleman that was doing my artwork was like, man, thank you for your patience. I just became a new dad. And so then that was without me telling everybody, that was the universe telling me, hey, I want you to wait. Right? I know you want that. Like, just give me a second. And so I was like, I can't rush it. And so because I have this model of use love first, I decided to be loving to that guy. And so this message appeared. Can you wait? He just became a new dad. And so that wait made me wait on my book. And so now when that pushes, then I'll go ahead and trust my instincts to move with it then. So I'm feeling like August is pretty good. Gray's always right. I'm sure you'll learn a lot in the military. The experience brought you knowledge there for power. Oh, yeah, the military. Yeah, that's the... Now that I know I'm sixth density being and understand that the world is going to start understanding that these people are real, like, right? Like, I can prove that density beings are real. Like, there are some people, right? Michael Jackson, right? All these other main high level people who gave messages to humanity. Sadhu Guru is very powerful. Sadhu Guru is probably sixth density. There's no one in seventh density. When you listen to the raw contact, they're talking about this. I'll play the video. Yeah, I'll play the video so you can hear it. And then kind of for those who understand what's happening. And then I'll explain, like I explained to everyone else, where I am from and how I am able to see in all dimensions at one time. I can see in the sixth density, fifth dimension. I just made a joke with my son. He couldn't even understand what was happening. I called my son's name. I said, hey, buddy, I love you. He had his headphones in his ear. And I started running from him because I knew his subconscious was going to try to pull his headphones out so he could say, I love you too, before I got inside the office. So I started running. All of a sudden, he started taking his headphones off. He was like, I love you too. I love you too. I said, well, what you want me to say after you hear me say I love you too? He was just like, what? I said, what you want me to say after you say I love you too? He just kind of looked at me. I said, I did that on purpose. He was like, what? I said, I knew subconsciously that your body was going to chase me just so you could tell me I love you too before you got in the room. So although I heard you, for some reason, your subconscious was still freaked the fuck out. And so I have the ability to look in sixth, fifth, fourth, and third density at the same time. This is why I am the type of person I am when I work, as a cook, as a lover, as a friend, as a father, as anything I do with my hands. For those, once again, understand what's happening, understand that these beings are real. And all of a sudden, everything just made sense today. So I guess today could be my birthday. I don't know, right? But everything made sense today, like, oh shit, life is really about to change, y'all. Like, this is a different game. God damn it. Right? And so this is where, attraction and all this other stuff. Like, I know what it is that I want without even have to say anything. So that stuff is going to, but that's the fun part. All right. Yes, get it. Thank you, Fairy. Thank you, love. Thank you. Appreciate it, man. Welcome, everybody. Appreciate it. Sounds like you have a good heart. I do, JCPR. I promise you, they made sure that this heart did the best it could not to get lost in the sauce. And there's a few times that it could have gone. Yeah, my parents used to beat me. I'm trying to forgive them but a part of me can't. Oh, I will show you. I will help you, Lil Ray, on how to love your parents. I promise you. Rap. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z, A, B, C, D. That's right. That's bars. I gotta drop my mic. Hold on. Bars. Right? JCPR, you got me, right? All right, Fairy, that's what I'm talking about, right? Shit, I got this. Right? Killed it. Throw some fire on them. I did it with no beat. Acapella. Trust me, bro. I do this in my sleep. Thank you. Oh, damn, Lil Ray. That's what's up, little man. Thank you, coming. Mic drop. Thank you, Fairy. Thank you. What's up, y'all? Mary had a little now. Man, remix. Maybe we should name her something else. Fairy say Larry. Somebody, I think that's where people be. It's the braid beard. I'm about to play that video I was talking about to kind of give everybody a heads up on what you're currently looking at. Once again, although you're seeing me, I'm a being who doesn't see what you see. I know that might sound weird. And so when a woman thinks they're attractive to me, what's attractive to me is not what's in front of me. I have the ability to see deeper than a woman who is completely stone naked, or vice versa. For those, there's people who are trying to figure out if I was gay or not. And I'm telling you, like, there's conversation of like, why do people want to know if I'm gay? I was like, check this out. Prince. Bruh, when I say people look at Prince, they be like, I don't know what Prince is, but that motherfucker pretty. When Jamie Foxx told me he saw Prince and Prince said something, and Jamie Foxx said he became Prince's bitch for like 5 seconds. He said he looked in Prince's eyes. He said Prince is a pretty motherfucker. Pretty. Michael Jackson was the same way, and all these other people that has high such sex fluidity or sexuality that people are feeling like, well, you are this and you are that. And it was like, no, I am whatever I want to be. Right? I'm Prince. I'm Michael Jackson. I am whatever the fuck I want to be. That's what I'm going to be. And so then people feel like that who they are is different by challenges because of the perception of the reality to the world that we live in. And because of that, for me living in sixth density, I see it as I want to see it. And my vibration attracts what's in alignment from all the things that is happening. now that I understand this, my acceptance level towards people's life this is what they call the enlightenment. But they kept giving people through enlightenment. They had Jesus down here. They had Buddha down here. They had Albert Einstein down here. Nikola Tesla down here. Now they got Kyle Wilson. I am not fucking with you. Like, I am one of these people. And they're trying to get people to see that humanity itself is really, really, really destroying themselves. And all you got to do is just really one simple thing. Like, just one thing. Like, it's not hard. Just one thing. Just like today, love yourself. You can be the world's most violent man. Because I survived them, right? Raped as an infant. No fake stories. There's people who understand it now, right? You can be the world's most violent man. And if you get this much love towards yourself, it may not seem like a change right then and there. But when you yourself understand how time truly works, that's why they said time heals all. How much faith do you need to move a mountain? The faith of a mustard seed. And so how much love do you need to change a person, or for a person to have love, or for a person to evolve with love? The same amount as a mustard seed. And so if you yourself can operate that way with the faith of a mustard seed, just a little bit, you don't need a lot of love, like just a little bit, it will have that person change over time. And that love is consistent. Somehow humanity has started to kind of make structure for love. Well, if you don't do that, you don't love her. I don't have that. Too bad. You're a fake brother then. If you do that, you gay. Well, if you do that, you weak. Well, if you do, you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, what is happening? And so, boom, they got Michael Jackson do the music. Boom, they had Buddha do the religion. Boom, they went so many levels. And so for me, this is not a religion. This is not a code. I'm not a rapper. I'm not an athlete. I am physical. It's beyond all get out. I'm not a politician. It is not government, right? This is literally this being who's able to walk into people's lives and teach, show, inspire on how to love, and under such a fast amount of time, that by the time that I leave your presence, you will see and feel the difference. I can't believe I just said that, but yeah, right? And so I'm going to play this video to kind of showcase it, to kind of give you what it looks like or what you're experiencing. What's up, D? How you been, pimp? Yeah, we still on here. Shoot, look, 1, 2, 3. We here all day. You said that. Yeah. Somebody says, what if I don't like you? Why would you invite me? Somebody just said it. Why would you invite me? I want to see if I don't like you. What? You know how silly you sound? Who said that? Which one of you 44? What if I don't like you? Who said that? Well, why would you invite somebody you think, hey, I don't think I'm going to like them. Can you invite Kyle? The fuck? Yeah, invite Kyle. I want to see if I don't like him.
You know what's in? Okay, yes. Then let's definitely talk about.
All right, here we go. This is pretty dope, y'all. This is a nice one. It's a nice one. What's up, Dark Phoenix? What's up? I know, right? So I'm telling you, either I've lost my mind or I can read them. I don't necessarily know who that's coming from. I don't understand that portion yet, but I'm assuming it's no different than when I talk in my tone and when people can hear pitch and stuff. Right now, I can just kind of hear like this, like I know my fucking thoughts. Like I'm extreme too. And so when I hear something like negative, I'm like, that's not my fucking thought. Like, why would I ask myself, what if I don't like you? You know how stupid that sounds? I'm a snap. You know how stupid it sounds to say, what if I don't like you? That's how I know it's not my thought. That sounds silly. That's why I'm like, who's talking to me? Why am I sitting here? What am I thinking of? This is crazy. I want a color. Right? And so I have not lost my mind, but because of all the training and trauma that I've went through from such high levels of pain from birth, I can decipher those things in my head. I understand the voices in my head. All right, here we go.
But you know what's in? Okay, yes. Then let's definitely talk about this because.
Oh, really? Well, okay.
I'm curious to your perspective on that.
Well, if you don't like me, then the gratitude is that you've come into each other's lives and there's nothing more that I can do but then be grateful. And so in the absence of that, if you yearn for that and more, whether it's the end of this life or tomorrow you wake up and you think about me, of all the people in the world, and then understand that vibrationally, right? That's a good thing. So, right? That's pretty dope. Because now I'm going to be like, the hell Fairy talking about now? That's what's up, man. Y'all are dope.
As I do see and believe that there are a lot of, from my
Once again, this is from, I was thinking about the law of one, and I was thinking about density and the difference between density and dimensions. And I wanted to make sure that I was explaining and understanding it in my head the way that it popped into my head, because no one's ever taught me what I made a video on. Like, no one's taught me on how to look at all the densities and then explain it like I can explain walk into the store. I can explain densities to you like I can explain how to get to my store with that type of precision. And I wanted to see if I truly was a 6th density being. Here it is.
Understanding of what Ra is talking about when reading the transcript, that and now if people don't know what we're talking about, so we should probably brief them on this for a second, but I'm just going to quickly say this, that there are 4th density beings that are incarnated in this 3D body, but their consciousness has expanded to 4th density, perhaps even 5th density, even though they are human. So you're saying like perhaps the souls of those 3D beings maybe in their next life, or are you talking about like being a light body? Does that make sense?
Yes. I'm actually going to do the next Law of One episode on this topic. Ra calls it wanderers. It's just the name he chooses, but most of us are familiar with the name starseed, which means a higher density soul which has chosen to incarnate in a lower density world to be of service by bringing a higher frequency. So like the idea is that all of our souls are frequencies in consciousness based upon our current level of consciousness. So somebody who's very unevolved, you could say, will have a kind of a chaotic, low vibrational frequency. And so that energy actually will affect, depending on the person, affect their environment. So like we all know when somebody walks in the room and they're super, pissed off or really depressed or something, we can feel that energy, right? Well, that's because that's their native frequency in that moment, right?
Yeah.
So a 4th density soul might choose to incarnate in a 3rd density world, even though they've already been through 3rd density. But Ra talks about this concept a lot in the Law of One, that our 3rd density experience that we're currently in, also because it's the density of choosing which polarity you want to serve, the light or the dark, it's a really powerful catalyst for growth.
Yeah.
So because there's so much catalyst here. So Ra describes catalyst as, the challenges of life, the difficulties, suffering, those kinds of things. Contrast, you could say. The more contrast we experience, the faster we evolve, because the more we're suffering, and the more you suffer, the more you desire to be free from suffering.
I got chills.
So as this goes on, I'll try to explain it quickly because it's 28 minutes, but we're going to be here for a minute. So he said, the more you suffer, the more you want to be free from suffering. So I was born on drugs, raped as an infant. From that time, left from my mom, went to foster care. From foster care time frame, was part of a pedophilic world, had sex multiple times with children, men, and women. From, I used to say 5 to 15, but now I realize it was the entire lifetime. Up until 15. And from 15 till 19, I was abused with my adoptive parents and survived that. And so there's nothing but constant pain. Every single day of my life, 100%, it's nothing but pure hell. And there's nothing else. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's no, right? And so the stories that I would make up was to kind of like fit in so I could be like the part of the cool kids. But when you hear the nitty gritty and you pull the veil off, it's like there's no more hiding. Like, I mean, every single day of my life, I suffered. And somehow I survived. But now I understand that it wasn't a somehow. I am a 6th density being that because of my view, I never got attached to women. I never got attached to men. I never got attached to drugs. I never got attached to liquor. I never got attached to money. I never got attached. And by view of people's perception, because because of what they said. Well, you had this drink, or you did this with this girl, you a hoe. You did this with this woman, you a this. You did this with this man, you're gay. You drink this many drinks, you're an alcoholic. You had these type of thoughts, you're crazy. You had, right? And here people are now kind of like, wait, he helped me, God me my life. He was right. I had children, didn't do this, didn't touch my children, didn't beat my children's mother, wasn't abusive to them. And when I say abusive, you understand that I only did what I was taught, but it was the repetitive fashion of what broke me. Shout out to the people who's seen all this trauma, and your brain wants to have freedom. And so I found freedom, but it wasn't just so much that I found freedom. This is all set up so that the world can hear the story on how to live from sixth density. You don't have to. There's a lot of stuff you can mix out on. And when I say miss out, let's just get rid of the rule books and do one thing that the world has somehow got people not to do. Love yourself right the fuck now. You don't need nothing else. You don't need a dollar. You don't need a man. You don't need a woman. You don't need a dog. You don't need a house. You don't need a car. You don't need shit. You don't need a damn thing. All you need to do is start loving yourself now. And once that happens, then you have the ability to reach and live in sixth density. Once again, this is me living with now the proof through science, through psychology, through so much that when I start speaking and people are like, is this true? Is this kid? Like, I'm going to keep saying it like, yes, I'm a sixth density being, because these people, right? Michael Jackson, Buddha, yep, all of them, all these people have been trying, and they'll mention it. Here we go. Right?
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, like your story in particular, and just most everybody I know, when they have that moment, Eckhart Tolle, for example, they have that moment of severe suffering where they almost don't want to even exist or be here anymore. And for whatever reason, that triggers it.
That's the moment of breakthrough.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah.
So a fourth density soul would come to serve, or fifth density, would come here to not just serve, but it's kind of dual. So it's helping them out, because it's helping them to evolve much faster. Yeah. And it's also helping us out. So it's like a 2-for-1 type of thing.
Right. So right there, he said it's helping fourth density, fifth density beings, right? It's helping them out, right? So it can help them evolve. This is how I know 100% that I'm a sixth density being. If I was fifth density, I would do things so that I can have a greater increased quality of life. That's what they wanted people to do. That's how they attached to the American dream, because that became the new sale. I'm telling you right now, this information is coming in my head like it's being downloaded. Pay attention. This is fucking nuts. And they tried that level. And so being fourth density or fifth density, look at fourth density as like B-level skater or a baseball player, or right. And look at fifth density or it's athletes, right? And look at fifth density as like your singers who has greater, larger capabilities. Now, some fourth density can achieve fifth density level, right? Where their power and success is so fucking great that they start getting changes. They start getting Nobel Peace Prizes, right? That's when all that starts happening, right? Because they have, had by view to perception of reality through consistency of living at fifth density or their love frequency for so long that their love has affected other people. Well, for whatever reason, something is happening and it's not getting across everybody. They start using, all of a sudden racism is involved now. They're like, what the fuck? We gave you all these great people and all this power. You're like, well, they're not black. We had to take them over here. Like, all right, they're not white. We can take them over here. Like, okay, right? They're too short. They're disabled. They're this, they're that, they're this, right? And there's like, holy shit. Because of our view to external world, we couldn't see past our fifth density. And so through sixth density and the fifth density itself is the acceptance of love and staying there to seeing everything around you as love. Everything around you is love. Everything around you is love, right? And so through sixth density, there's no judgment. There's no love. There's no bad. There's no up. There's no down. There's no yes. There's no. There's no gay. There's no right. There's no wrong. It's just you are being. And here's the cool part is that you can't really put it into words unless you're just trying to describe it to the best of your ability. And it's just you just living here, right? And so because of me and who I am, this is why I say I want donations. Don't pay me for shit. You don't get it. You can take all this shit away. And I'm like a billionaire in front of you. And you'll sit there and like, God damn, I'll give him them all the money if I knew how to be happy like that, because my ex did A, B, C, and D. And for me, I'm sitting here like, you don't get it, bro. I got 5 kids and 4 baby mamas. They can be mad or happy. I don't give a shit. And for me, the consistency is that this kid is really happy. Like, he's really fucking, like, legitimate. Like, he gonna stay right there. He's right. He's like, oh, he must got a good wife. Nope, single as shit. And for what it is that I'm asking for is to be with multiple women at the same time, for polyamory, so people can see, like, the consistency. This ain't fucking fake. You know what I'm saying? So, but when you see that they tried and it kept faulting, and I think he was going to go into it. And this is when I start to realize, like, I think I'm from 6th density, because I don't care about money. I will not fucking manifest money. I will not manifest money. I won't fucking manifest money. I won't manifest a woman. I won't. If it ain't for me, that's right. And everybody's got a lot of the contrast towards it. But the higher level gurus are like, we're attracting it. But what's happening? We're allowing that to define us. So you're allowing money to define you as a billionaire? You know how silly you sound, that you need money to be feeling like a billionaire? That you need a woman or a man to feel like a real person? And so 5th density started getting lost. And they're sitting here like, okay, you got all this love. What you going to do? I'm going to share it. And then the government's like, well, you can't share it. Can't say that's too much love. You trying to go to China and share it? No. Well, you maybe over there. That's why a lot of people do better in other fucking countries than they do in their own home. Trust me, I'm telling you, this is weird. And so now, knowing that I'm from 6th density are the beings who can see everything for what it is. And now people, like, how do you do the change? Start with the man in the mirror. Love yourself. And now people are wanting this level of attainment to have this consistency of love. And that's now being sent out. And so once again, hang in there. But I want y'all to see the growth and process on how I figured out that I'm a 6th density being, because I am not going to do things for you so that you can pay me. I want to work for you. I want to love you so that you can see your worth and value. That's what you pay me, through your view, not through mine. So I'm not going to ask for $100, right? I only say for donations because I was just trying to do $1. Because if I had 100 people and everybody sent fucking 50 cents, bruh, that's way better than being on the phone for $50 an hour and helping one person in 3 hours when I can help 300 people in 20 fucking minutes. Like, I speak in a way that allows you to feel heard and understood as you're walking away. You can hear me speak and say something just halfway, but and be on your mind for that type of consistency. This is how I've learned that I do live and speak and see and operate from 6th density. All right, here we go.
Always. And then at the same time, because this is all happening at the same time, we can get super complex. And that is one thing that my mind, when I first would read this, I'd like, what? This doesn't make any sense. How did this already happen? Okay, densities. Mm-hmm. You know, we might as well brief. We don't have to fully talk about it. You have an episode on it. Skim over it. I have an episode on it, but we can maybe do.
You did an episode on it?
Oh yeah.
I gotta check that out.
Feel free. And it's about an hour long. Heads up.
As it should be.
More. As it should be. I mean, as podcasts go. Plus, I ramble a lot, so whatever. But that's just me. Whatever. Okay. So if we were to sum it up, just first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. Should we do that really fast, just so people aren't like, okay.
Yeah. First density. So the densities are basically like, you can think of it as like grades in school. Mm-hmm. So consciousness is locationless. So these aren't, people get density and dimension confused, I've noticed. Dimension is quote unquote a location, you could say. Like if I go to another dimension when I astral project, the astral plane, you could say, is another dimension, right? But a density is not a dimension. It is a...
Once again, my attempt is to make this easier as he starts talking about it. Density and dimension. Density is like a grade in school. Dimension is like location. So look at it like this. Look at your densities, 1 through this. I think they said it's 8. Let's just look at 1 through 6. And then let's just say right now your dimension is that you're in 3rd dimension and you're looking at the 3D world, or you're looking at the 2D world, and not density. Let's say you're in outer space and that's another dimension. But how are you acting, right, in that dimension? What's the density, right? And I know it might be sounding silly, but I need people to really feel it. Are you operating at a third density, fear, tearful, crying, sad, I'm mad, I'm hungry, and is that where you stay while you are operating in outer space, which is a different dimension? Are you operating at a fourth density, which is logical understanding, trying to be that person who's like, all right, I can take our time, we have patience, right? Are you being from fourth density, operating in outer space, whatever dimension that is, or are yourself being operating at a fifth density where you're being loving and you're peaceful and you have enlightenment and you're operating in the dimension outside whatever galaxy that is. But understand that sixth density, if you're operating at a sixth density, although that it's part of love, you can see everything. These sixth density people are the people who deal with unity. Sixth density people are the people who deal with pulling people together. And so they don't see separation. They don't see dividing. They don't see the yin and the yang. They see everything. And so this is what they're speaking about as far as dimension is a location. So you're at the house and you're not being loving, but at work, you're being extra loving, right? What's happening? When you should be loving everywhere you go, but everywhere you go, you should not be judgmental to anything. You should be able to operate independently to your own thoughts versus the external world to who you say you are through experiences of your mom and dad. That's just a guide to who you are. That doesn't have to be who they say you have to be. That's just a blueprint, if you will. It's not the final say. All right, here we go.
Stage of evolution. Go ahead.
You can tell that I was about to say something. Yeah, well, the thing is, there is a difference. It's so subtle, yet at the same time, I feel like it's very similar. You know what I mean? Because yes, it's the consciousness is the density, where your conscious is evolving to. But at the same time, let's say you're walking in the fourth dimension. Mm-hmm. This is also where your consciousness lies in that moment. Does that make sense? In a sense. And they're very similar with their progression.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dimension is like how we operate in space and time.
Yeah.
So that's why Ra does have a few passages where he says, we exist. I don't know if he names what dimension, but fifth or sixth dimension. So he says, thus we are able to be with you at any time. So if I have a piece of paper, a two-dimensional paper, let's say a two-dimensional character on that paper needs to travel the distance between this part of the paper and that part, right? But I can just touch whichever part I want, and they would go, how are you here and there simultaneously? But from the third dimension, it's all available.
That is I haven't read that. That is the best analogy, though. I love that. Oh, my gosh.
All right, I'm going to try to explain what they were just now talking about. So in the dimension, in the density that I live in, right here, you're a dot. This is you, and you have to travel over here. So you feel like that you would have to walk over there, right? Because of consciousness and understanding the different dimensions and perspectives of the things around me, such as life underneath the ink of this pen, and traveling through that, I myself can also envision myself being at both places at one time. This is one of the keys to manifestation and seeing your dreams. Having your mind go to time back to go to the past and see something different and change something. And all you got to do is change how you see it. Because if you saw it differently, you would have done it differently. And so if you see it differently, you're going to do it differently. When? Now. And so although people like, you can't change the past. That's why people are like, yeah, you can. But you can only change it by view to perception. But here's the good news. It doesn't fucking matter anyway. It's your story. And so when you start realizing that you get to be able to no longer hang on to the dark stories or have to put judgment to that or let it identify you, yourself, you can see both sides of it. And this is kind of like where the sixth density is that who cares if you're tall, black, gray, yellow, green? It don't matter. If you're sixth density of being, it shouldn't have you. Why are you asking questions? Real shit, boss level, why are we asking questions? Because you don't trust yourself. That's why. Right. And so having that allows you to have telepathic communications. Understand sixth density beings will have a strong ability to communicate with people who are fifth density beings. Right. And that's not a coincidence. P.S. Most of the people who are my exes are more likely fourth and fifth density beings, which is very odd because that means a lot of different cool shit. But once again, I understand that now. So that's what they're trying to explain between the views of points and how we see things through perspective. Our perspective is key to creating our reality. This is why we have understanding of moons and stars that's nowhere near us. Think about it.
It's a great analogy.
And that's,
so in that same sense, so apparently, I don't know if this is true. It's always abstract for me, but the fourth dimension is time. So let's say that's true. The fifth dimension is something we don't understand because our physical body doesn't operate in fifth dimension yet, but our consciousness can become aware of fifth dimensionality in certain ways, but that's not the same thing as saying density or fifth density. Like fifth dimension and fifth density have no actual correlation. Right. So the density is the stage of your evolution. You could say the level of awareness or level of intelligence of your individual soul unit, you could say, of the source of this consciousness. So the idea is that the source wants to know itself, wants to experience itself. So it splits itself off into infinite different little pieces and starts from the ground up and evolves through the entire spectrum until it finally merges back with itself. So it experiences the totality of what it is through this, innumerably long billions of years of evolution. So consciousness begins at first density, which is the four elements, essentially, earth, water, fire, air. So, think about when planet Earth first came into existence. It spent, like 2 billion years or something as rock and magma and water colliding with rock and volcano eruption and air and wind and these four elements interacting. And that friction eventually created chemical life and then microbial life and then plant life. So as it evolved through the friction, the consciousness began to evolve into the second density. Second density would be like growth and movement. So anything that can respond to the environment. So like a rock can't respond to the environment. In a sense, it is the environment, right?
Yeah.
Fire can't respond. It is the environment. So a plant or an insect or even an animal would be second density. Now an animal.
Just kind of make it bite-sized when it comes to density. All right. So first density is, for lack of better words, all your elements, right? So just think of your table of elements. That's first density. Second density is, hopefully this I'm sure it makes sense. For some reason, I can make sense of this. I did okay in school, y'all. I did all right. So here we go. First density is all your elements. Second density is all organisms / life forms up to being human, up to being chimpanzees and gorillas, right? So from every organism, from the smallest microbe all the way down, all the way up to right before we get to humans, right? That's second density. And so what they're saying is that first density, well, how does first density get to second density? It's actually pretty simple when you think about it. What are we made of? Wait for it. When I say I can explain shit, I'm not lying. Like I can explain these densities. And when people understand what's the importance of understanding these densities, this is when I know my life is going to start taking off. Like I'm going to be some weird shit, right? And so if you're here, you're about to hopefully get a grip on this and you will never see, right? Matter, right? And so when you see first density, when you see second density, an animal or insect, look at it in a way where from first density, it's the constant movement of the elements surrounding each other, electrons, protons, all these things. And all of a sudden, through a certain rhythm and frequency, they form what we call organisms, monkeys, right? And this goes all the way down to the detail of what we call the creation of life or Big Bang Theory, right? So first density is essentially time and darkness, right? And so these are the elements creating where you're, using our microscopes because we got to see. So first density is anything of what we call the elements, air, water, that's first density. And so as this starts to rotate and do its thing, and all of a sudden the matter around it, it starts to have friction. It starts to have growth. This is going to lead to the second density. So your animals, your insects, things of this nature. And then third density, well, we'll give you a head start.
Was the very latest stage of second density. And like, a microbial organism would be like the first stage of second density, but it's there's awareness, but there's no self-awareness.
Yeah.
So then we get to third density, which is self-awareness.
Well, in the higher stages of this.
So third density is self-awareness, humans, right? And so there are some animals who actually can become self-aware. These are the animals. Let's just say, for example, all right, in a way, the Marine Corps used to have, God damn it, what's the devil? A devil dog, right? Right now you say that in a while, right? So they had a devil dog. That devil dog, that actual dog became self-aware in a way to where it actually started to make changes. This dog is now on faces of billions of things where this dog has such a, existence that its self-awareness became through how all the other things are around it. And so if you look at it, everything actually has its own self-awareness, but we as humans, because we are so-called self-aware, this is what we call being awoke, if you will. We're so self-aware that we feel like, no, I'm not a dog. I'm not a human. I'm not a man. I'm not a woman. I'm self-aware, right? And so that's where we get the whole I am thing from. But if you were a dog, you don't give a shit. The dog don't give a shit. It's a dog. My dog don't care. It's a dog. It's just a dog. But it's going to be every bit of what we think it is. We gave it that name. You see what I'm saying? But it's going to be whatever, every ounce of what it thinks it is. It's going to bark and scratch and moo and all this other stuff. And so it's not going to fight its feeling for growling. It's not going to be like, should I growl? Nah. Should I bark? I shouldn't bark. Right? But they can get to that level. Does that make sense? When you start having communications, if you got an animal, you start looking, don't you do it? The dog and the cat be looking at you like, so you want me to do it? And they have videos of cats doing that, right? So if that makes sense as far as like your third density, your second to third density. So second can become self-aware. And then third density is us, but think of the highest level of getting to fourth density, which they'll explain in a minute.
Second density. It's funny how I bet at their level, they just feel that they need to explain it in this linear fashion for our human minds to comprehend.
Right. But it's all a spectrum.
It's all spectrum. It all just somehow, flows together.
Moves together seamlessly.
Yeah. But at that second density, because wouldn't monkeys kind of be considered high levels of second density? Or because they do have the ego, they do have the self-awareness, they would be in the third density, lower end.
Dolphins.
Yeah, dolphins.
Elephants. There's lots of animals that exhibit traces of ego. Or you could say we can observe traces of suffering. Mm-hmm. When I say suffering, I mean psychological suffering. Mm-hmm. Obviously, all animals feel pain when if they get eaten or something. Yeah. But it's actually really fascinating to watch like an antelope or a zebra get chased down and eaten by lions, because there just really is this moment of surrender where the animal, okay, I got caught. I'm not going to get away. There's 5 lions around me. So it just lays down. And it's not squealing to its death. And why is this happening to me? And I should have done better. It doesn't experience those thoughts because it doesn't have that mechanism yet where the mind has sort of flipped in on itself and become an object to itself. Yeah. Which is what we call ego, where I understand as a concept that I exist. Yeah. Now, all sentient beings have the innate I amness. There's an innate knowing of my being, right?
That's where I got into the when you get to self-aware, and it's like a dog. If a dog was self-aware, a dog be like, I'm not a dog, I'm a man. I be like, if you don't shit your ass down, dog, what you talking about? Dog, my dog's name is Cuts. So can you imagine if Cuts was like, I'm a man? I'd be like, Cuts, you a dog? Nope, you call me dog. I didn't wake up and call myself dog. I'd be like, Cuts, the world call you a dog, and Cuts can be like, fuck the world. I'm like, Cuts, you can't just let people know that you run and shit. Like, I can do what the fuck I want to do. And I'm like, what can I do? He's self-aware. Like, I can't do anything. You see what I'm saying? And so when you have what they call that self-awareness, you start doing the whole I am this, I am that, I am da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And so this is the third level of self-aware, or the third density to yourself as a human being. What's going on, y'all? Appreciate y'all joining. Hang in there. This is getting crazy because I'm going to streamline this. If you rock it with me, please hang in there, because when I say that it's taking off, like, I get it now. I'm special, and I can do it in a way that's just like, hey, I'm special. Everybody like, that's cute. And then after a while, I'm like, that nigga say he was special. At least he knew it. I guess we can know who we are. How he do it? What's his secret? He really got him. He's special. I want to be special, right? Like, it's coming, right? I'm going to do my singing. I'm going to do comedy. I'm TikTok. I'm not making comedy videos. Oh, well, I guess I could. Anyway, we're going to stick to the point, right? Third density, right? A lot of us right now are doing that third density, right? Drop a heart, if you please. I'm with I want to see if people are really being active with this. If you understand what's being said up to this point, please drop a yellow heart, right? Just show the love, right? Just drop a yellow heart, because I want you to actually grip that there is something groundbreaking, shaking going on. And I am just this little dude from Houston, Texas, who's a part of it. Like, I don't know how else to tell you. Like, I joined the fucking, it's like I won the Super Bowl, and I won the Super Bowl until I die. Does that make sense? Like, I won the Super Bowl, and I'm going to win the Super Bowl until I die. Like, okay, here we go. Thank you. Thank you.
But when the conceptual understanding happens, we could consider that third density.
Uh-huh.
So like a dolphin or an elephant, you could say, or a dog, could potentially,
for sure.
For pets, for sure, like the latest possible stage of second density, because we give them names, so they develop a concept of self. So they might be ready then in the next incarnation of that soul to incarnate human. Or wherever else in the universe there's third density, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, so, yeah, that's true.
Yeah, not just Earth, but anywhere.
Right.
So third density is self-awareness. Now, third density, where we all find ourselves now, is also the density of the choosing, Ra calls it, where we choose the path of light or dark. And both are equally valid from the universe's perspective. It doesn't push you in any one direction. It wants total free will to let you choose.
For those who are in here and hanging out, check this out right now. In the law of one, hear me now. I know this makes people grossly uncomfortable. I know that you're not going to believe this. You've never done anything wrong in your entire fucking life. I don't care if you just did the most violent thing you can possibly imagine and write a story about. You've never done one thing wrong in your entire fucking life. I am not lying to you. There is no wrong. And two, the law of one. There is not one. There's not one. There's not one. But there's an advantage and a quote unquote disadvantage, if you will. Free will is the name of the game. And some people just live in the moment for selfish reasons, which they'll explain. We'll get to that and I'll make a pause. But free will is the name of the game. And right now in third density, that's your human power. That's your superpower. Can't nobody make you do shit. Can't nobody force you to do nothing. Like, and understand when I can't nobody make you, I understand the force and the rape, right? I'm just getting you to see right now, if you are not being loving right now, that's 100% on you. There's nothing in the world that's going to change that. Only you can change that. When I say I'm lit in this motherfucker, like I know how to look people in the face and be like, I know if you're being loving or not. It's real simple. Like you can tell in a person's eyes if they're being loving to themselves. Like it's not a game. But this not being loving is not something you should be ashamed of. It's you being who you are. And there's a lot of people who's being so loving to themselves that they're tired of being loving to others. And so a lot of people are tired of taking their free will and saying, look, I love myself. 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 And then the person will be like, no, you don't. You don't love yourself. You're like, how the hell did I not love myself? Like I've been showing you for 3 years straight, I love myself. And now you're going to tell me I don't love myself? And I'm like, and then you say, I'm done. I want to leave this relationship since you don't think I love myself because we taught the wrong way. So that you start walking away trying to be a big girl, big boy. And they're like, no, come back. And you're like, okay, because you love yourself. Right? It's not that you did anything wrong. It's that you were taught to make that decision to put others before yourself. Good. But what if I told you that it only works if you put yourself first? And we weren't taught that. That free will got somehow reversed. I'm not lying to you. We're supposed to have free will. You are supposed to be 100% happy. I don't want nobody in my life that's not currently happy. And so if you're not currently happy, then there's no reason for us to kick it because you're going to feel like that more than likely your unhappiness has to be my unhappiness. I'm like, bullshit. I'm choosing my happiness. And so you can have whatever you want to have. But that free will somehow has gotten us sick to the point where we feel like that I got to be like this to kick it with this crew or to be like these people. Nope. No, you don't. Do what the fuck you want to do. So there is no wrong, right? So just like let that sink in and then, you know, the fun stuff is going to come in. How you get to what we call enlightenment.
So it's really kind of depends on how you want to handle or respond to your suffering.
Yeah.
Right? The path of darkness uses suffering as an energy to go in the direction of selfishness and self-serving. Right? So I use my anger as fuel to take it out on others, and that kind of enhances my sense of self. And so down that road, you have the negative path, quote unquote. And then if you choose to respond to your suffering by transcending it through universal love and oneness, you've chosen the path of light. And so the way Ra explains it is that you have to make, your consciousness has to make a certain choice where you at least become 51% or more positively oriented. But to follow the negative path, he says you have to be 95% or more negatively oriented. Which sounds a little weird, but go ahead.
Oh, no.
So this is when it popped for me, my favorite number. This is when it made sense to me that I am now officially can say that I'm sixth density. He said 51% is the path of enlightenment, or the path of service to others, right? And so that means consciously, subconsciously. That means consciously that when you make a decision, your decisions is more than likely in view to the person in your life. But if you are 95% negative, this is what this means. I need people to see how they're messing up their own lives. When people think of numbers, we think of like large time spans, right? And so if 95% of your movement or your energy is service for you, right? If 95% is service to you, then you yourself are, for lack of better words, falling over to the dark side. Now, once you go past 95%, you've committed, right? And so to commit to darkness is really interesting. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, right? But the flip side towards it is that as long as you don't go past, like you got a long time to change your life. Like you got a long time, Chief. Like you got 95%, right? And so some people hit this level of attainment. I hope this makes sense. These are your Adolf Hitlers, your psychopaths, your killers, your wrongdoers. These people, in some way, shape, form, or fashion, has passed the threshold of 95%. They've submitted and committed to that quality of life. Now, you see how small that percentage is for them to be committed to? Like they got 5% left, right? For the 51%, that's 49% of goodness, right? All you need to defeat evil is the faith of a mustard seed. This is why there's such a range, right? You need this much darkness, this much darkness. Everybody's like, I'm scared. That's the mountain. You know what I'm saying? That's the mountain. It's too big for you. And so what moves a mountain? The faith of a mustard seed. Well, you only need 51% to be service to others. So if you are doing things in view to other people in your life, for the law of one, you're doing the thing that's going to bring you to that level of what we call enlightenment, which they'll get into. But understand that that 51% that you yourself must be producing. And I'm going to tell you how to do it. Check your brain. Your brain don't understand time. I'm going to tell you some scary shit. I'm going to tell you how right now people are losing their lives. In 1 hour, if you think about your ex and you're one of those negative people, let's just say in 1 hour, just in one fucking hour, that you think about your ex in a negative way and you're thinking in a harmful fashion, is that not over 95% of that hour? And so all of a sudden you're sitting here trying to like, man, why do I feel like I'm getting cursed? Why do I feel like bad stuff is happening to me? Because that hour you thought about your ex, you didn't know that you were sending real vibrations. And so that next hour that that's getting ready to come in, it's not going to be a good hour, my nigga. I mean, my sister, it's not going to be a good hour. It's not going to be a good hour because that hour right there, you talked all that nasty stuff. That hour right there where you just like, I can't stand her. She gets on my da-da-da-da-da. That next hour was not going to come back being as great as fucking hour. There's just no way. So when do you get to start having that love? When? Drop a heart. Now. You can't wait for it. And so all you need, though, is a little bit of love. And all you need when that little bit of love will change the world. Like, literally, that little bit of love. And so that's why the percentage is so small. To commit to evil, to like really commit to evil, when somebody's really evil, bruh, like they put their heart into it. And so you have to be as powerful in love than they are in evil, if that makes sense. And so if somebody's like 94% evil, to me, I want you to know it's child's play. Like, no bullshit. If somebody's like 90%, 94% evil, like that's child's play, right? This is not a challenge. Here's the dopeness. If they're 100% evil, that's like my boss level type talks. You know what I'm saying? Because psychologically, through their mind, they're rooted in what it is they're saying. And they're going to sit there and say, I'm going to be this type of man. I'm like, you cool? That's cool. But I'm going to be this type of man. And so now it's good versus evil. And I promise you one thing. I don't cause harm. So who you think's going to win this story? Your move. 100% checkmate it all single time. So when you yourself are 100% positive and you ain't got to question that shit no more, but people who are unkind subconsciously, they can't operate around me. I'm telling you now, for people who are uncomfortable around me, or for people who are subconsciously uncomfortable, and like they say they got some ill stuff or whatever, their time around me is not comfortable. And so I've learned how to pick that up because I'm a person where people are comfortable. So if somebody comes around me and they're uncomfortable, I can evacuate the situation, homie. That's not rocket science no more, because I now know I'm not 51%. I'm like, what the hell? I'm not 51%. I'm not 51% positive. I'm 100% positive. I'm never not positive. And so in my mind, if you're sitting here operating in some type of negative way, then I'm looking at the energy like, hey, you good? Right? So you want to stay right there? Like can I speak about how I feel? I can't speak about how I feel. I feel that what you're doing is not good for you. Oh, you don't want me in your life? You think I'm a bad person? Well, I agree with you. You're right. I am a bad person. And I should never talk to you ever again. I love you and hope. Well, that's not what you meant. You want me to submit. You want me to... No more. And so stay in love to yourself. By loving yourself, it's no different than the concept of you being on the plane. Oh, shit. Than you being on the plane and trying to help someone else. Than you being on the plane and helping your son first, or your daughter first, versus helping yourself. You have to be able to help yourself.
Become available to those.
You have to be able to help yourself first before you can, I saw a little bug, before you help somebody else. And if you're not, then you put yourself at risk. And it finally happened. And so, yes, 51%. But in this process, as you're getting to be, as you're understanding what they're saying, this 51% is a lot more powerful. Just an ounce. The faith of a mustard seed. Once again, for those who are joining us, we're just talking about a little point on the law of one, and I'm introducing myself to the world that I am a being from sixth density, which means a lot for those who understands what that means, right? And so right now I'm trying to give 56 people out of the world right now to, I guess, a class, if you will, what sixth density being means. And so here we go.
No, keep going.
I was just going to quickly explain the reason for that is because you could think of the positive path as the path of harmony, unity, balance. Mm-hmm. And so the negative path has to be the polarity of that, right?
Yeah.
So it can't also be the path of balance. It has to be the path of chaos, the opposite of balance and harmony. So it's a very high entropy state of consciousness. So because of that, there has to be an extremely high degree of devotion to sustain it, because it's, in a sense, a lot more work, you could say, to sustain a negative orientation.
You got to be dedicated to yourself. You got to be.
So this is your Genghis Khans. This is your Adolf Hitler. This is your psychopaths who get, right? These are your dangerous men. These are your Jeffrey Dahmers. These are your, right? When people are dark, oh yeah, this ain't a game. They about their business. You know what I'm saying? And so we'll talk about that in a different level. But those who are submitted to that, they don't have, I can tell you right now, they don't have children and kids and living an abundant life, right? And by sake of you, if you think they do, what's happening is that they're controlling or manipulating the family. So if the truth came out to that quote unquote psychopath or what have you, the family would shatter. But in a loving household, the man should be able to die and the family will still fluster, right? And so that's one of the things that the people who I've been in relationships with, that their lives are, well, you'll see. So, but yeah.
Dedicated to yourself. What's really interesting is that, even though it's really hard for our minds to conceive of this, but it does make sense in a sense, because the creator does want to experience it all, is that neither is wrong or right. Neither is better or worse, because there is a reason for some humans to go down the path of self-service.
Right.
And for whatever reason, the creator wants that some of those beings to exist, apparently.
Mm-hmm. Well, think about it this way. There's two ways to know what foods you like, right?
Uh-huh.
You can just taste foods you like and go, I like that, I like that, I like that. But you get a completely different perspective or appreciation for the foods you like when you eat a food you don't like.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can think of it as the creator is sort of taste testing, all these different. And when it tastes something negative, it goes, ooh, bitter. Oh, I don't like that. But it is necessary because it wants to know itself in every possible variety. And so one of the ways of knowing yourself, knowing what you're like, is to experience what you're not like.
Yeah. And then you really appreciate what you like when you experience what you don't like. Yeah.
So it's a different angle.
But then, you know, the creator gets kind of over it in 6th density, and it's a little hard for, but we're not there yet. Yeah. I'm just kidding. And that's not really the case. But yeah, negative entities have a little, they have a harder time because I mean, there's just an overpowering social gravity of love.
Yeah.
At that time.
Yeah.
But we haven't even talked about the 4th and 5th yet. So I'm getting ahead of myself.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves on these densities.
That's what I do. Who likes linear stuff anyways? Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So just then real quick, 4th density is a density of love and understanding. Mm-hmm. So consciousness becomes self-aware in 3rd density, but it still has a sense of separation. Oh, I'm over here, you're over there, we're separate.
All right, so here's the fun stuff, right? So 4th density is love and understanding. So look at love and joy and enlightenment and just roll with me an example. Love has nothing but patience. Love is not going to enjoy this side of this object, but not this side. Love is not going to enjoy this side of this object, but not this side. Love is not going to love just this side of my face and not this side. So love is not going to just love the inside of my stomach, but not the outside, right? Love is going to be so present and there and existing that itself is going to ensure that whatever you have complications, when you have anxiety, love is there. How do you know? Because you are love. When you have depression, right? Where is it? It's you. You are love. Operating out of this density allows you to look at your children in a way where they see difference and you see, well, that's just the way they see it. And then you can have 4 different children and each child does something differently. And so one child might like running, the other child might like football, and the list goes on. But because of those differences, do you feel like you can't love one over the other? No. And so as they try these different things, their experiences, you're going to love them because you want them to enjoy their experiences. This is not true. And the simplicity of understanding being a loving parent is that you are be loving to the children so that when they have their experiences, they can be vulnerable to you about their experiences. You don't want them to have any bad experiences. But if they have a bad experience, you want them to be able to come to you and tell you how their experiences was so that if they have something of difficulty, then you can show them how to be as children and deal with that. So when they get older and in your absence, then they know how to deal with the things that's uncomfortable when they have uncomfortable experiences. But this only happens, ladies and gentlemen, when you live from the 4th density. I've lived from the 4th density my entire life. And so when you live only from love, because only reason why I know I live from 4th density my entire life because I was sexually molested by 2 mentally challenged men. And so I didn't want to be the kid who didn't feel like he was loved. And so because that happened, most people say, well, that's happened to you. You can't be a loving person. And so I had to either learn how to get with that program and be loved or tell you this and handle whatever type of wording you would have, especially because we were younger. I'm 41 now. It's different. But now you take that uncomfortable world and you go back to the simplicity of your children, 4 children, 4 different sports. Are you going to love them? Yes. And so if they have a negative experience like a negative experience, you want to be able to handle that negative experience in the time frame yourself so that you don't have to necessarily rely on somebody else. And so as a good parent, you would teach your children, hey, no matter what it is you go through, just use love first. This allows you to be able to see things with simplicity and clarity. If you get upset, take a moment, sit down, breathe. You don't have to rush through it. And no matter what it is, if your life is dependent upon it, trust your instincts. Do not put yourself in a position where somebody makes you fight against your instincts. But in order for you to see this with precision and clarity, my son, you must operate from the 4th density. You must operate from 4D, which is love, joy, and enlightenment. Ladies and gentlemen, I have been operating from that motherfucker place since I was born. And I only got to 4th density. Right now, there's 51 people on here. When they explain 5th density, all I'm going to ask you to do is just go check the videos and tell me if I'm operating from 5th density. And then when they explain something of very uniqueness, and with the compassion and consistency that I have in my voice, right now you will see that you are looking at a being who is from the 6th density. Here we go.
And that's all where the ego comes from. So 4th density happens once you transcend the illusion of separation and basically realize you're in a dream. But when dreaming, you are everything in the dream, right? The dream is happening in your mind. So
that's 3D world, everything around us. There's nothing we shouldn't love. That's why I explained it. You should love everything. Love everything. There's nothing not to love. Stop complaining. Nope. Too bad. Sorry. Yep. I know it was fucked up. Love it.
Density intelligence recognizes this and recognizes the causal link between you and I, that I cannot do something to you that I do not do to myself. It is impossible for me to cause pain to you that I don't at some level also experience. And likewise, if I love you, I also experience that love. Mm-hmm. So therefore, you and I must be one, because what I do to you, I do to myself. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So that's 4th density. And we see our planet moving, our species moving into 4th density now.
Yes.
There's this huge awareness, right, of oneness and connection. And we're saying, hey, let's love one another, social justice reform. There's more awareness of the suffering we create, factory farms and slave trading and all this stuff that before was covered up, that sort of the internet and connectedness has exposed, and consciousness is saying, hey, we don't like this. So that's a sign that we're moving into 4th density. And apparently, according to Ra, the 2012 shift was actually our planet shifting vibrationally into 4th density. Yeah. Meaning that, you could say 51% of the consciousness on our planet was 4th density oriented. So therefore, the whole planet now becomes hospitable to evolving 4th density bodies, which would be the green ray body, which is more of a light body. The heart, the heart body.
The heart chakra. Yes, and more beings are shifting their consciousness, expanding their consciousness into the 4th density, which is so beautiful to see. For example,
once again, just to kind of insinuate, it says beings, which is us, are transitioning into 4th density, aka humans are just now realizing, so I'm supposed to love everything that comes into my life. Like every single person that comes into my life, I'm supposed to love. Like that sounds. You mean every person, like every. But they rape. I'm supposed to love them too. And if I do, I get to be enlightenment. I'll have like whatever I want. And all I got to do is like really love them. Do you know how to do it? Yeah. We as beings are just now tapping into 4th and 5th. And it's weird, but now it's starting to make sense to me, where I can see what I can see. A human being that does not like, or a human being that does not love everything in their life is in hell. 100%. Like, just hear me now. If you don't love everything in your life 100%, you're in hell. AKA, if you don't accept everything in your life. You ain't got to like shit. There's a lot of shit I don't like. Damn. But that doesn't mean I can't love it. If I don't like the way this shirt looks, does it mean that I need to rip it and cut it up? No, I can give it to somebody and see it increase somebody else's quality of life, of joy and things of that nature. You see what I'm saying? So let's call this my ex. And I'm like, oh, this is my best shirt. It's an ugly shirt. And then I get rid of it because, don't know. I can still love this shirt. I could be loving to anything that I have. Paper, fucking speakers, you, right? All right.
Perhaps, let's say, Mama Gaia wasn't quite there yet. Perhaps Mama Gaia was like, or Earth, perhaps Earth was like, still living in that 3D, and it wasn't going to happen for another hundreds of or so years, I would probably still be, I don't know exactly, but maybe you wouldn't have had that great awakening from your Christian religion, or you would have, but had more judgment upon them because there's nothing wrong with it. And same with myself with Mormonism and Christianity. And so it's just interesting to see all these people that are now like, okay, so yes. And even some people still like to label themselves as Christian or whatever their religion is, but at the same time awakening into this like, oh, wait, maybe there is more to life than what I have been told. And also, oh, wait, maybe really all humans are equal and all sexualities should be treated equally because there's a reason behind it. There's still some religions that need to catch up with that.
I gotta talk about it, man. Sexuality and freaking the world. Once again, I fought through the darkest days of trying to figure out if I was gay or not, and I never told a freaking soul. Because of what I grew up with, I now can understand and express it in such a fashion. And so, I saw Tank, the singer, talk about his experience in life, about him being with another male or being intimate with a male sexually, right? And so everybody was replying like, nah, bruh, that means you're gay. And I was just like, am I gay? Am I gay? I'm not gay. I don't like guys, right? I don't get aroused or nothing. But I've done what they're talking about. And so in the beginning stages of trying to understand it, it's not like everybody knew that I was born on drugs, that I was raped as an infant, that I was having sex. I don't even like saying it anymore, but because there's things that I now understand that had intercourse with my own mother at the age of 3. Listen, I said a memory out loud, like this is uncomfortable in the sense of truth, but here it is. You know how you came home and you rushed from school to watch Power Rangers and all the cool stuff? I'm gonna let the cat out the bag. I'm not gonna say the girl's name or nothing like that. I was disturbed. I would rush home from school to do something in a sexual way with another young lady underneath the bed in foster care every fucking day. And that was after school. When everybody got home, then we all had sex again. And if the twins were there, then they did this thing where 3 o'clock in the morning, they'll wake you up and have sex in the bathroom. And so for me, this was happening, these things happen. So the world is like, well, you're gay. And I'm just like, but I really want to have threesomes, and I have imagination to do freaky fun stuff. And in my head, I kept having this weird thought just dangling that I was gay. And I was just like, is it because I went through that? Because if I get to make the choice, I'm not going to be like, hey, what's up, man? I think you're beautiful. Can I sleep? That's not happening. It's just not happening. And so I kept seeing how the world was like, why is this such a fucking issue? Why isn't it an issue that a man wants to be intimate with another man? It's mind blowing. And so before I got to the level of, oh, I'm nowhere near him, it's because of the way the world looks at people. Then I finally got to the background of, okay, a lot of people understood what Tank was saying, that it was an experience. When he used this concept, if a girl was in college right now, if a girl was in college and she said that she's done something with another woman before, but she only did it one time, the vast majority of people would say, oh, well, she was just experiencing. She wasn't sure what she liked. Clearly, she didn't like it, because if she liked it, she would have kept doing it. Then she would have been a lesbian, or whatever label they like to come up with. And so for me, I was born in this world. So what am I? Am I gay? Am I a lover of women? Do I get to have sex with everybody? Do I have to have sex with everybody? Because the world I came from said that whatever label was said externally to me, I had to fit it. And so when I finally saw that I did not have to fit any single label, I started to see what people's complexity was at core. Most people are uncomfortable sexually with who they are because of their current existence or their current experience from when they had expressing themselves. And a lot of people think sexuality is genitalia. Sexuality is actually talking to people. Sexuality and being comfortable. Don't you want to feel like you around the man or the woman you're with? Isn't that not sexy as shit? Right? So instead, we get around people that we feel uncomfortable with, but we don't trust our instincts to say that we feel uncomfortable with them. And so now we question our own sexuality because we feel like, well, I don't vibe with him or I don't vibe with her. And so when a guy vibes with Kyle, they're sitting there looking like, so you gay? Like, no, I'm not. I am. But that's you. That's you. You're gay. I mean, you like the label. Like, I don't want to have sex with you. But the same thing happens, real shit. The same thing happens with females who are my, or women who are my female friends who are my friends, right? Like, if they're attracted to me, there's people who've, like, so you sure you want to have sex, Kyle? I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure. So we keep hanging out and everything. So, you hang out with me, you call me, you talk to me on the phone all night long, Kyle. So you don't, I'm like, nope. And there's people that exist who was like, yeah, I used to try. And, right? I'm telling you, like, I ain't got shit to hide, bro. And I'm just like, we've made sexuality so disturbingly uncomfortable that most people are, for lack of better words, whores, because the last man, the last woman wouldn't accept what it is that they fucking wanted in bed. And that's all it is. That's all it is. And what you want in bed is not the weird stuff. It's literally the comfort of feeling heard and accepted. And you can do this by what I'm doing right now. A woman is more likely to feel heard and accepted and loved in that view as opposed to, you know what I'm saying? So sexuality, we got to, right? Put that on your list. Get that off of there. All right, here we go. We almost finished, y'all.
That's okay.
Yeah, I mean, they're just going to kind of end up being evolved out of existence, you know?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. But I think that's still about 100 years away.
Yeah, at the most. I mean, it
is rapid.
It's so rapid right now. Like, you go to any church. I mean, when I was a kid, there was tons of young people in church. I remember.
Yeah.
And you can't go to a church now where you see more than, 10% of the people there are under the age of 30. Young people aren't going to church anymore because a lot of the souls that are incarnating are more fourth density.
They're older. Yeah.
Yeah.
They've experienced it. You can tell when you.
It doesn't resonate.
Yeah, it doesn't resonate. Yeah, Gen Z already naturally woke. All right.
Spirituality.
Yeah, exactly. So one thing that you talked about, actually a few things. Oh, we didn't finish 5D and 6D. I'm the best.
Okay, I'll just glance over it. Fifth density is the density of wisdom,
and that's when I knew I was a sixth density being. That's when everything made sense. Fifth density is the density of wisdom. Listen, y'all, when I say it took me a minute to really accept myself, it took me a minute to really accept myself. And every voice I ever heard in my life that said, Kyle, you're smart. Kyle, you're wise. Kyle, you're this. Every voice I ever heard. As soon as I heard that, every voice in my head said, oh. And I realized from that point then that I was a sixth density being. My wisdom that I have is not something that I was reading or taught. Right. Thank you, Fairy. Right. That makes sense now. Right. This is how I know. So my videos on TikTok, just go watch them. Like, they're some of the most wisest things that I look at my videos like, I said that. And so it's almost like, how am I saying? And I'm like, oh, I see what's happening. I can segment my own self or observe everything that I'm doing. And so when I saw that the fifth density, ladies and gentlemen, is wisdom. Fourth density is love. Third density, self-awareness. Second density is, the animals and being, what they call the being, right? So if you're being, you get to be, right? And then first density is alchemy. Holy shit. Oh my gosh. And first density is elements. And so you operate at first density simply because you're made of elements and matter and carbon, oxygen, right? Your second density, because like the animals, right? You are that being, that person, that entity itself created out of such, and you can have self-awareness like a dog or a monkey. Then of third density, which is your awareness to your own mind, that you are who you are. You know what a hand is. You can look at things and say stuff like, I am. You can pretend to be, I am a pen. You can pretend to be other people like actors. You can pretend to be the sun and come up with your own narrative to being the sun. And so that's third density. Fourth density, it's love and compassion and looking at things and being to see that the perspective that no matter what's presented in front of you, ladies and gentlemen, that there's nothing in this world that does not deserve love. There's nothing in this world. Like if you're in here, you know that's not how it goes. And when I heard that fifth density was wisdom, I live philosophically in my head, and all of my so-called teachings, which is slowly what's happening, is on TikTok right now. And so it's like my entire spiritual journey. The time is 2:30, which is 1, 2, 3, synchronicity at its best. And it's like go time. And so what is sixth density? What's sixth density? How am I able to live through all of that with precision and not tripping up? It's because through sixth density, I don't have any judgment. Whatever is presented to me is truth. I don't question it. I don't put yes or no's to it, right? I don't even call it, for lack of better words, pretty or ugly. I let my body move with it vibrationally. I make my decisions off of that philosophically. I do it in a loving way. I use my mind and my wisdom and my knowledge to understand what it is that I'm doing. And no matter what, I put myself in a position that I don't have to jeopardize if I'm being loving or not, right? And so when you do that on a repetitive fashion, like energy that moves consistently, you're like matters and like density 1. Well, what happens when you move like that over and over and over? Right? So you have all this other gorgeousness stuff that's happening, and it comes from living at sixth density. My entire life has now been designed so that I can prove to the world that right now, they've said it, if I don't know if they're going to catch it again, that I can prove to the world that I am a sixth density being with the understanding of how to be continuously loving and non-harmful. Because the only way you can get to sixth density, and it took them a while to figure it out, the only way you can be living in sixth density is that you have to have a time frame where you yourself is constantly fighting with what we call strife and struggle. And so here's the good news. You can live from sixth density. It's not hard. Sometimes we'll catch it where we live in sixth density or in these other voids, because children have no judgment. When a child sees something, they just look at it like, there's no judgment, not good, not bad, not yes, not no, right? They're just looking at it until they see it in a repetitive fashion. And then they start to go, oh, this is something that's interesting. But after a while, if it's something that's not good, you can go, it's something that could be sad through that repetitive fashion of how they see it. But the first time they see it, they're just looking at it. And right, it could be good, it could be bad. And so here I am raped as an infant. Well, what do you think happened to my mind? I didn't know that was good. I didn't know that was bad. Regardless if it hurt, it's like a dog that's dying. As a human being, I was treated less than a second density being, like the animals that's being chewed up and ripped. As an infant, I was treated no different than just being chewed up and ripped. And so that consistency of being that type of being, I couldn't say no. I couldn't say ouch. I couldn't say stop. I couldn't be self-aware. I couldn't say I feel scared. I couldn't say can I have. I couldn't say please. I was not, right? And so through consistency of being in that world, then I joined the military, and the list goes on, the list goes on. This, from that perspective of knowing that if fifth density is wisdom, this is like the preachers and sadhu gurus and the Eckhart Tolle, right? They're right. This is why when they speak, for those who are, once again, for those who are paying attention, I love you. It's nice to meet you, right? This is why when they speak in ways where I'm like, man, that makes sense to me. It makes so much sense to me. I feel like I fucking wrote this shit. Like, why is people, and I'm looking at it like, what? And I'm telling y'all, like, when it popped, it popped. And I'm looking at like Sadhu Guru and Eckhart Tolle and Abraham Hicks. I'm like, why are y'all famous and I'm not? Like, real shit. I'm just going to write like I know who I am. And I'm like, how come they so, right? And I'm like, don't I talk the same shit? Don't I say the same stuff? Right? Full, right? And then all of a sudden, I saw it. Because I'm seeing it from a perspective where all of them are right. Remember, you can say, Kyle, I did the most dangerous things to my children tonight. And because of the life that I've gone through, I can guide you. You know how uncomfortable that is to some people? You can say the most uncomfortable thing to me and say, this is what I've done to my children. And I will sit down and love you and guide you and help you so that you don't hurt your children no more. So that you don't hurt your husband no more, your wife no more, your friends no more. Like, That's what being from the sixth density or living from sixth density allows you to be, to love with 100%. Every breath I take is loving. Being around me is almost, right? If I'm wrong, trust me. It's weird. It's weird to claim it to that type of degree where it's just like, whatever. But then I'm like, no, I've seen it too many times. I've seen people freak out around me. I've seen people, right? And so now the universe has been communicating to, once again, the government, whoever's listening, that this person, we made sure that, like, I get contact, right? I do get contact. We've made sure that we did the best we could to get you to see that you can be a sixth density being. So money does not affect me. Sex does not affect me. Words does not affect me. No one affects me. Like, I am here for you. I want to be in your life. I want to be loving. I want to be supportive. I want to be understanding. I want to show and teach and inspire. I could die today and understand that this man has died enlightened. My mission is only completed. Well, for me, being a sixth density being, that allows me to have more gratitude towards my mission. But being a sixth density being and seeing now the mission, then I can sit down and sit here and say, because I really legit shit, like, I'm not suffering no more. There's no more suffering for me. Like, I'm in heaven. Like, once again, for those who get it, it's gorgeous, right? That even feels weird, right? I am in heaven. I have my diamonds. I have my riches. I have my codes. I have my Rolls Royce. I have my castle house. Like, I have my, Alan Watts says, if you do it right, you should have banquets every night and orgies. Ladies and gentlemen, I put money to a dummy. I ain't bullshitting. I ain't sugarcoating. I ain't playing. I'm not saying it just to be cool. Literally, that's the life that I will, without having to ask, and it will unfold easily with comfort. Because when you love yourself, there's no reason for you not to love everyone else. And when a person feels loved and accepted, you ain't got to ask for shit. You ain't got to say a damn thing. This is the whole Jesus effect. This is the whole Buddha effect. This is the whole a child or a star. If you ever seen a movie star, or you call it stardom or starstruck, or a rapper or entertainer or anything at that level, it's the same thing. Living from sixth density is something that can be taught. And I can tell you right now that if I do not pass away in time, I would say probably in less than 2 years, there will be a school. Yeah. In less than 2 years, there will be a school built to teach what it is I'm talking about right now, to live from and through sixth density. So, right? There are beings who are already here. The people that I've attracted in my life, I can tell you, right? AXs, if y'all are watching, I can tell you if you're fourth density, fifth density. The reason of saying this is that your next level of ascension is, not for lack of better words, guaranteed, but you're growing because of who y'all are. Everybody up in here, 9 times out of 10, you're between fourth and sixth density. Us living in third density, like, you've already become self-aware to feel like, drop a heart if you feel like you're supposed to be doing something more in life. If you feel like you're supposed to be doing something more in life, then that's you living solidly in fourth density. Whether you go down to third density and you start tripping and shit, that's on you. That's on you. But drop a heart if you know for sure you're supposed to be doing something. Like, you just feel like it's just in your soul. Like, I'm supposed to, and I'm not sure what it, right? You're 100%, because that's where the love comes in, that where you feel this, man, am I tripping? And so some people, they call it obsession. But to you, it's just passion. You see what I'm saying? From that perspective, I'm like, they're obsessed over that. And when it looks real from the non, right? From sixth dimension, right? From the non-judgmental, I'm like, you call that obsession? Huh. Maybe you've never really seen passion before. But what do I know? They look pretty happy if you ask me. You see what I'm saying? So, man, y'all got all this, what you call up here? All right, so about 2 years, school being built. Somebody had said something that caught me off. But you know that, what's that? Which Viking? Some of us are doing it already. Yes, yes, yes. Fourth and fifth density. To say sixth density, it took me a minute to really feel like, can I really tell people I'm from sixth density? Like, what I'm supposed to be rich? Like, but because I'm from sixth density, I don't want money. I'm telling you, I've been getting stuff from the universe with, manifest money. I'm like, no, 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 no. They have a program. Like, whoever these people are, right? And so here it is. I do not want to work for money. I want to work for you. You pay me with energy that you call currency. The currency is only due to the words that I say that it's brought you some type of value and love to your life. And so for lack of better words, it will look like this. Let's just say you're the world's greatest basketball player. I'm going to tell you what's going to happen to Kyle Wilson in front of your face. And all of a sudden, you are trying to find someone who can see things in such a way that it would not cause harm to the left side or right side. And ladies and gentlemen, there's not a lot of people who can do that in the world right now. Not a level of comfort to some of the darkest issues. Because of the things I've survived, I now have that ability. And so the world's greatest basketball player is having a shit fit psychologically. And I would sit down and talk to him. And that ability to sit down and talk to him, to get him to see that the reason why he made it this far is so that he could be the person that he is. So that she can be the person that he is. And so that I can see and get them to align everything in such a tight grouping that by the time they move, that when they raise their hand being raised was perfect timing. When they started to play basketball, regardless if it was the worst shot ever or the best shot ever, they were so in love with that moment. They were so in love with that time frame. There's no other time to be you. There's no other time to be loving. And some people get so out of line. Some people get out of their thought process to what they call time, thinking about the memories of their past or trying to win the game and forgetting to enjoy the moment. And so for me, I continuously and constantly enjoy my moment right now. So if I'm right now broke as shit, am I enjoying my moment or is it a front? Well, you can tell from the look in my face. I've been talking about love for over a year straight. And boy, let me tell you, things would get a little strange, right? And so here I am being the same person. And the person is just like, right? I just won the Super Bowl. I just won the NBA Finals. I just got my life back. I just got my wife back. I just got my son back. I just got my daughter back. I just got my job back. I just got my career back. I just got whatever the case may be. I don't want money to have people see that I'm like this. No. I want people to pay what they feel is worth their weight in gold to what it is that I do for them. So if you are a basketball player and you heard me say, I don't know, 6 words for my own dreams and memories. If I say 6 words to you, you go out there, you win the game. Trust me, I don't have to worry if I'm going to eat dinner that night. Nope, no expectations. It's because if I'm being helpful to one person in the entire world, and by view to conception, what people feel like is helping somebody. Ooh, you help somebody really important. To turn around and walk outside of that arena, wherever I'm at, and talk to the homeless man and help them the same way, you don't understand. I'm never losing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could talk to the man who won the NBA and talk to the man who's sitting outside and watching people just pass him by or her by and speak to them and love them and heal them and laugh with them and enjoy them and show gratitude and appreciation and adoration and presence with that person, just like I can with the person that's the richest, the smartest, the fastest, the prettiest, the tallest, the shortest, the ugliest, the weirdest, the whatever. And to know that each person I love is 100% precision love. And the only way it shows difference is what you allow or what you offer to me. The only thing I'm going to offer to you is the way that I see life through my experience. If my experience as a person through understanding 6th dimension inspires you and enhances your ability to love more with higher levels of frequency, more with higher levels of understanding that brings you wisdom, eventually, ladies and gentlemen, we will have collectively moved the entire world through 6th dimension. Through this consistency of loving without trying to be the basketball player, the rapper, the whatever the case may be. And you can do this in your own home, aka with your own son. Ain't nobody got to pay for this no more, y'all. You don't have to necessarily put psychologist, everything that's existing, what I can do is to enhance. And I got that message a long time ago. I'm not to stop anything. I'm not to add to anything. I'm not to, right? Nothing of that nature. My mission in life is to enhance everything. And the only way you enhance things is through evolution. And so that love is continuous through growth. And when you as a person from that being, no matter when a person presents that dark moment to you, you'll start realizing this consistency of always realize, man, I always make it through. I always make it through the dark stuff. I always make it through the uncomfortable things. So as a sixth being yourself, or as a being from sixth density, understanding sixth density, understanding wisdom, understanding love. Children operate out of wisdom and love all the fucking time. A child's wisdom is so dope. It's to the point you be like, man, I feel like my baby been here before. My baby been here before. Right? Or the child is so loving, they be looking like, shit, it must have got it from the mama. He didn't get that shit from me. My baby be loving like it's Buddha. You see what I'm saying? Where is this coming from? We already had it. The systems and ideas that's come through our mind from the senses that we call stimuli has changed our perspectives of reality, which made us change the way we think, which made us change the way we see reality, which gets us to harm ourselves, which gets us to harm people. Because if we harm ourselves, we will harm other people. What we do to ourselves, we do to other people. When you yourself have the ability to sit and feel comfortable with the people in your life, that is worth. Fuck, man, that is worth its weight in gold. So donations only, donations only, donations only. I get it through the larger level. There's going to be things where people are going to want to have money moved because of what I'm able to say / do and all this other stuff. And through its continuation, because now I'm like this magical baby kid who the world told me that I can think of anything and it comes true, and then I'm realizing this ain't real, and then all of a sudden shit is coming true, and I'm just like, y'all shouldn't have told me this. And then he's like, yeah, whatever. And I'm like, no. Y'all don't know who I am. Y'all told me that I can create anything? Like I can draw? Like, they were like, yeah. Did you know I was from sixth density? What's that mean? We don't judge anything. And so I can see systems quicker. I don't look at the system as a bad system. I just look at it as whatever you told me to look at it. This is what you told me to do? Cool. You say I can't do that? Cool. Now I'm operating from here and I can create my world. Like I can really create my world. So why do we try to scare people? To keep them under, right? Just a whole bunch of fun stuff. Just know that when I speak and offer that type of understanding, wisdom, knowledge, love, I don't want your money. I don't want even your energy. But if you offer something to me and you feel that I've done something to inspire you to be a better person, to be stronger, then your offering is accepted. I've had people offer service to service. I've had people offer just phone calls. I just want to talk to you. I've had people pay for my time just to talk to me. Like, it took me a minute to realize it, but I'm like, you don't really have any problems. So like, I just really talking to you. I was like, all right. But it was weird because I was mind reading and people didn't know that. You yourself, please donate, because the book, the energy, the time, the investment, you are alive, you are here, I am real because you say so. So every piece of donation you have, whether it's out of 54 people or 1 million people, understand helping that one person, when you have that faith and moving through the law of one and being continuous, you'll never have to wonder if the next day is going to be bad. Like right now, it might seem like, okay, cool. But I'm just like, imagine going to sleep tonight and just like, I hope tomorrow's good. It never comes out your fucking mouth again. Imagine, imagine waking up and you're going to take a trip and you don't have to worry about the fucking trip in a negative way. On a continuous value. Imagine being able to be around people that used to make you uncomfortable, and you see now that all you're doing is living an experience so that you can learn something. And so when you're sitting around this group of people, or whatever the case may be, that you consider to be uncomfortable, you can truly have this, what you call now, experience. And you'll be looking at them, and people are like, you scared? Like, nah, I'm just experiencing, y'all. What's up? You look like you're scared. I said, my body's responding like it's scared, but I ain't going nowhere. I'm good. What's up? You see what I'm saying? When you get to have your life back, and you get to decide how you want to respond, that's what the donations are for. So if you want to donate, $ use love first for Cash App, $ use love first for Venmo, Kyle Wilson 3380 at yahoo.com for PayPal, Kyle Wilson 3380 at yahoo.com for PayPal, And okay. Oh, Etsy's. I don't have these shirts, right? Somebody had asked for them. Somebody really wants these type of shirts. Let me know. It's really easy to create it online now. But I do have shirts through Etsy that you can order. If you like the lives, if you're new to the channel, if you are rocking and feel like that this is good, there's more content on YouTube. Hashtag use love first. I put all my content on all my other social media, so everything else is hashtag use love first. I do foresee a lot of traveling in my life. I do foresee a lot of meeting people. And once again, to somebody else, they might think it's work. But all bullshit to the side. Like, this is what I was born for. So when I'm talking, I'm at work. I really do love you all. And the whole reason is so that we ourselves can continue to be loving others. So it's beautiful to be here. It's beautiful to see. Like, I get now, like, I am king, but there's no king who would not be willing to understand that they became king through every single person they experience. From my mom, the drugs, the abuse, the rapes, exes, nexes, baby mamas, all this, all that, military, this, that, all that. And so if I'm here, it's because of each and every single person that the universe strategically, right, in the sense of what we call free will, this is where they're trying to make sure certain things didn't happen. So they're like, hey, let's put him over here. Let's put him over here. This is going to hurt him. Like, yeah, but we understand that he won't die. And so, right? And so I didn't die, right? Went to war, came back once, twice, 3 times, saw real war, saw a little war, saw no war. Yeah, that's weird. I saw a real war, saw a little war, saw no war, right? 3 times, I come home, all types of bad stuff, all types of glorious things, now seeing the fruitfulness of it all, and my whole movement to life, the whole hashtag use love first, everything in from this point on is like 100% go. Where am I going? Put it like this. I'm already there. The question is, where would you like to go? I'm like your fucking genie, if you will, right? My wishes have already came true. I wanted to survive everything that I've survived, ladies and gentlemen. I can die happy tonight. I have 5 children. They'll figure it out if I don't. You see what I'm saying? So I want to be able to be in your life and be effective and inspirational and whatever it is that you feel that's necessary to help you ascend to the next level from 4D, 5D, and 6D. Yes. All right. We're going to play the best. Man, 2:52 minutes in here. We're going to play the rest of this. And then we'll probably just...
Love becomes balanced with wisdom. Like, for example, the propensity to be
What's up, Amanda? I love you. How you love teaching. Thank you, Kimmy.
Martyr and 4th density. I'll give my life for love and compassion is actually seen from 5th density as being not very wise, because it's beginning to see all creation as accepted, and like even if someone is in suffering, doesn't necessarily mean I should infringe on where they're at.
Yes.
Necessarily, not meaning they don't still help those who are suffering, but there's this much higher reality that's seen of the kind of the umbrella level of creation, of everyone's where they're at. They need to experience certain things. So kind of like a parent to a child, you don't always want to rescue your child from the hard lessons, right? Whereas 4th density just has this overabundance of compassion and just wants to serve and help.
Yes.
Right.
Where it's almost like it's so overzealous, you almost lose yourself in a way. Like what your human self also needs. Your human self also needs some love from you.
It sure does.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not to say that 4th density beings are like out there, letting themselves get killed for no reason or whatever. But there just is that propensity when there's that much love in the green ray.
Yeah.
They can easily become that way. So 5th density, apparently 5th density beings spend a lot of their time alone, in solitude and contemplation and feeling the love of the creator. Now, also to be said is that in these densities,
5th density spends a lot of time alone. A lot of you all are 5th density beings, making that connection to source, trying to figure out your own minds. It's loud. I feel lonely, right? Yeah. So if you yourself are understanding what they're saying, like a lot of us are 5th density beings. But now check this out. How do you become 5th density beings? They kind of like grouped it where it's like, all right, get a degree, get a girl, and get married, and you will have what we call the American dream, aka that's like saying being in fifth density. And so now you got the degree, you got the girl, you got the money, and you're just like, I am so unhappy, and I don't know how to express it. I have no clue how to express this. I got the money, I got the man, I got the woman, I got the this, I got the job, I got the kids. I should be waking up like, yeah. I'm not waking up like that. I'm waking up. So how many we got? Are we gonna fight today? We gonna fight today? Is it for lunchtime? We gonna fight when we come home? You're not gonna tell me? It's a surprise. All right. I love you too. All right. Okay. I'll come home later. Okay. So are you gonna text me? You don't know. It's a surprise. You're gonna let me think about if I love you? Okay. And you're like doing this all day with your significant other, and they're just like, so do you want to be in my life? But you sit, we're in fifth density. And so you're in your brain, you're like, shouldn't we be loving like every motherfucking day? Or am my husband just told me, did my wife just come home and tell, my wife is, and your brain is just like, I'm not fucking stupid. That's why people make videos like, let another mother come in here and not love me. Let one more, right? And so you're like, you got to be loving to yourself. No. Let another motherfucker tell me I'm not loving to myself. Let one more, Kyle, you're not loving to yourself. I hope you and I never come across each other's existence again. If you ever sit in front of me, Kyle, you don't love yourself. I hope out of 7.8 billion people that you never, ever see me ever again. And I watch their face explode. And it's the most craziest thing. Oh, by the way, we keep getting in relationships with people be sitting there and telling you stuff like, no, I don't want to, I don't like it, this and that. And I used to come from like, well, I got to, we could try to conforce. Oh, hell no. When there's people who's just like, so you want to do that thing you was talking about? I'm like, if you want to do it, like I dream about doing it, but everybody's scared. I'm like, shit, I've been making drawings about doing that thing you dream about. We should do that together. Knowing that these people are out there. But we get to this world that we can't. Because we know that love is real. You're supposed to wake up with the things that you think is loving. You're supposed to be that type of relationship. It should not be, I got to do a lot of work. Fuck that. That is bullshit. I'm telling you right now, love is not hard. Nope. I'm going to do it for women. Like, just swimming. Dun, 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 on purpose. Dun, 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 dun. Now, ain't going to be forcing nothing. Dun, 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 just love everywhere. It's so easy. And they're going to be looking at it because you won't be accepting. So, if you are yourself right now, feeling alone, trying to make that connection, figure it all out, this is how I came up with, if you're alone, you've also upgraded. If you're alone, congratulations, you're low-key ascending. You're just at a level that a lot of people can't rock with. And so, until you get used to that new frequency, it's going to take some time for you to attract the new things in your life. But you made it. How do you know? Because you've let go of the old. You know the things they tell you to do, so to appreciate your new and gratitude and all that good stuff. All right. So if you're alone, you're more than likely understanding this. You're in 5D trying to make sense. Why did my ex did A, B, C, and D? Because your ex was in 5D and everybody's 5D is put in this structured world, what we call past. And we keep using our past to be loving. And I'm trying to say, let it all go. Like, let it go. Let it go. Don't, right? And when you start to let it go, then you're like, oh, shit. So I'm supposed to be loving no matter what day of the week? That's interesting. Maybe I'll try that next lifetime. All right, here we go.
They're much longer than third density. Like fourth density is like 30 million years on average. Yeah. I think Ra says in one passage, each incarnation is like 90,000 years. So they live a lot longer because the bodies that you're incarnating into are much higher vibrational, more light bodies. So they need less food. They're less dense than this human meat sack, which needs food every 2 hours, you know. So they live longer. So learning psychic abilities, they're learning things like telepathy. They're growing into the abilities of consciousness, teleportation, being multiple places at once. All these kinds of things happen.
Did y'all hear that? I want to play that again. Man, that's crazy. I caught it. I
through these
didn't let it run back.
And so fifth density is very powerful in the psych. Ability, extremely.
Man, this sucks. All right, 1 second. So fifth density,
extremely intelligent, and then sixth, letting themselves get killed for no reason or whatever. But there just is that propensity when there's that much love in the green ray.
Yeah,
they can easily become that way. So fifth density, apparently, fifth density beings spend a lot of their time alone, in solitude and contemplation and feeling the love of the creator. Now, also to be said is that in these densities, they're much longer than third density. Like fourth density is like 30 million years on average. And I think Ra says in one passage, each incarnation is like 90,000 years. So they live a lot longer because the bodies that you're incarnating into are much higher vibrational, more light bodies. So they need less food. They're less dense than this human meat sack, which needs food every 2 hours. You know, so they live longer. So learning psychic abilities, they're learning things like telepathy. They're growing into the abilities of consciousness, teleportation, being multiple places at once. All these kinds of things happen through these densities. And so fifth density becomes very powerful in the psychic ability, extremely intelligent. And then sixth density is the density of the unity, where finally love and wisdom have been perfectly balanced with one another, in perfect harmony, which is also why the negative path can't sustain their growth past sixth density.
So when you operate from sixth density, the power to me is that I'm no longer controllable. And so people are still going to try to do things and say things. And so if I can get people to see that if he really operates from sixth density, that means love and unity is the only view. There's no label. There's no this. There's no, right? So from sixth density, and understand from fifth density, you have telepathy, all your psychic ability starts awakening. And so I'm telling you, like, I know how to hear my voices with simplicity. I don't know who's talking to me. Sometimes there's a lot. Sometimes I get interference like a fucking radio station. I'm not fucking with y'all, man. Sometimes I'm sitting there looking at a person and I can answer questions or tell them if they're, or see if they're attracted to me or if they're, right? Like it gets to the point where it's just like freaky, but I'm gifted with these abilities because I have no judgment towards what you say or do. Remember, you can say, Kyle, I want to suck on your beard and dip it in honey. And I'm be like, that's pretty interesting. That's new. If somebody said that, that's interesting. I thought that was pretty funny. However, fine, so be it. Kyle, I want to do this. It could be a male. I'm like, I'll tear you in half, Kyle. You probably would. That's I'm good though, right? I appreciate that. You know, I'm flattered. If I was part of that world, they would probably, you know, turn me on and everything. But you know what I'm saying? And so because of sixth density, I now get to have like complete. It's called the void, right? It's an intelligence, and so people will be like, "So what about this? Well, what if I give you this much money?" I mean, you know, I guess. Well, what if would you have sex with this person since you said you had sex with your mom? I mean, if I was forced to, I would. I wouldn't want to. And so if you had to do this, well, how about this? I mean, if it was the last thing and I had, right, and somebody tried to, you see what I'm saying? And so there's no defeat from sixth density. You have this flow, and I live in a world of non-resistance, aka no labeling. And so for me, I want us all to get along, aka Jesus is back, the second coming, there's another Buddha, here's another entity. And so the world, the raw contact, all these fun people, all the things we're making sense of, they finally found a way. And so I have the verbal capacity and understanding to get people to see that I, Kyle Marquise Wilson, knows how to live and look from sixth density, fifth density, fourth density, third density, second density, first density, without causing a ruckus to anybody's life or pain in any way, shape, form, or fashion, which gives you the power of unity. Because if you are to be a person that can bring people together, don't you want it to be done in a way where there's no pain? Well, that's what all this is saying. So, yeah, let's get started.
There has to be an equal amount of wisdom and love for consciousness to progress. So this is when you get the group soul effect, or a balance of it. Mm-hmm. So at this point, there's no more individual consciousness souls. It's all a group soul. So consciousness merges together through the gravity of love. And that's what the group soul is. Or this is why, like, beings that are channeled, like Abraham Hicks or whatever, they always speak in terms of we, Bashar, we and us, and the plural pronouns, because they're speaking for thousands or millions of individual entities that have merged into one larger entity. So that's sixth density. And then seventh density is the gateway density, which you're kind of one step in the creator, one step still in manifestation. And so not much is known about what seventh density is like.
Yeah, I guess Ra is still trying to, or has an idea, but doesn't fully know because hasn't experienced.
Hasn't been there.
Seventh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll keep going.
I was just going to say that higher density beings are very hesitant to speak about things they don't have experience of.
Makes sense. I mean, that's their wisdom kicking in right there. They're like, I know not to go there.
Yeah.
Unlike you, humans.
Like you, pathetic little human.
Oh, man. But okay, so one thing that's interesting, though, is that there are those that have selected or chosen the negative path, the self-serving path, who are living in 4D, even though and I actually learned this from you on your channel, they skip the heart chakra or something, yet they do still, according to Ra, they still experience the fourth. But, it's a very narcissistic experience.
Yes.
And that does fringe upon other people's free will and just, their own experience as well. And then, so how do they graduate, though, from the fourth to the fifth if they're supposed to learn love and understanding in the fourth? Right.
So the love that a negative entity learns is extreme narcissism.
Okay.
It's extreme. It's not real love. It's it's the polarity of true love, which is like selfishness. Serving myself at the cost of you, rather than serving myself by serving you.
Yeah.
Because all service is self-service, right?
Yep.
Because what you give, you receive. So the fourth density is basically narcissism. And then, of course, learning the powers of consciousness that are available in fourth density. And so once a certain level of intelligence is reached, or wisdom, you could say, then they become capable of incarnating into a fifth density body. And so apparently it really is, there's like a restriction on what you can do. Like you can't just go from third to sixth density because it's all about like vibrational states. And so like, so a higher vibrational being can incarnate in.
So right now, you just can't jump through your densities. You can't go from third density to sixth density. AKA, you can't be self-aware today and tomorrow have wisdom, is what they're trying to explain. In theory, because I can say it, I can teach it. There are things a person must do in order for those things to happen. This is what we call magic, because it looks like it's unreal, but you actually can do this. And so if you were to die today, right? If you were to die today and you're a fourth density being, you will not be reincarnated as a fifth density being. Well, how do you make sense of that? You can only love as deep as you've felt or been loved before, or as deep as you've experienced. We've all heard that before, right? So if you've not experienced 4D, then you're not going to be reborn into 4D. If you've not experienced 5D, then you will not be born into 5D. If you've not experienced 6D, then you will not be born into 6D. I was born 5D. The wisdom that I gained throughout my life was 6D. The wisdom, no, okay, I was born 6D. But for the world, that 6D, right? How do you know that he's born 6D? It's not like I was like, oh, I don't feel like having sex today. I'm 2 years old. I'm sorry. Right? And so how do you know for sure this kid was born in 6D? What's the 100% proof? 6D is non-judgment. 6D is unity. And so an infant who's being raped, yes, take your mind out from labeling. Look at it in the non-judgmental view. Is that not uncomfortably, by view to some sick people's mindsets through perspective, unity? And so I've been pleasing people since birth. Well, how did I survive it? They explained it at some point in time through the struggle. And a lot of people get to this level, and then, for lack of better words, they pop, they lose control, they get old, they do drugs, they kill themselves too much, they get all this fame, they get all this success, they got all these women on their life, they got all these people chasing them, and they can't make sense of it. They don't know what to do. They can have fun at any given time. For those who understand what I'm saying, excuse me, those successful people, they're like, I can get her, get this, I can get that, I can buy this many cars, I can buy this many, right? These people being born into 6th density and having me to see that I was born in 6th density is how I made sense of that. If you're born into 4th density, if you die at 4th density, you don't get to wake up at 6th density. And so who you love today, all the people you love today, you can only love the next person in your life to the highest level you've ever been loved. That's it. I, as a being, understand this. So all my exes love me to the highest level they've been loved. No judgment, no bad, no good, no ups, no downs, right? I love them to the highest level that I've been experienced love. And that love that they send to me is not just through their mom and dad. It's from all their lifetimes. And so whatever dimension I meet you in, more than likely it's either a session of you yourself having that growth from the time you were born. Me being a 6th density being to my exes now, it's a different relationship. Like, it's a different relationship. But I didn't know that I was 6th density. Most people are just now realizing that they legit are 4th and 5th density now. And so as you start to see, how can you yourself see that you're born from 5th density or from whatever density is the level you love at and understanding what each density is. 4th is love, 5th is wisdom, and 6th is unity, where you do everything to be and conclusion of everything, aka why polyamorous in the lifestyle that I have, 5 children, 4 children's mother, being touched by all the people that I've been touched on, and have that constant radiating energy of unity, because I want to bring people together. So being in a polyamorous relationship for me is really, there's no reason for me not to do it, because it would go against division. I want to bring everybody together. Oddly enough, my children have the same concept. They want to have all the brothers and sisters because they got 5, different moms and different brothers. So they all want to have that same idea. But when you reach that level of density, whatever you pass away at, that's what you get born into. And so each level gives you a chance to ascend. How do you ascend? Through consistency. If you are in 4D, you want to have consistency to get to 5D. The only way is to be loving in all that you do. Loving doesn't mean that you let the man or the woman abuse you. Loving means that I make decisions in view to me that vibrationally rises me up through the dimensions like 5th density, pushing me or guiding me up to wisdom and clarity so I can make decisions in a loving way. And the more we do that, you start to say, you know what? I'm okay. She only did that because she really felt like that was the right thing to do. Nobody's ever done anything wrong in my life. I can call my exes up right now if they ever answer. They won't answer because of what's happening right now. Nobody wants to be like, I used to date Kyle. Nobody wants that. Like, I know him. Like, so you Potentially the most loving man. You couldn't handle it. I didn't know who the fuck, ladies. I didn't know who I was. So, like you yourself, like we're like at this, and it's like we're all at 6 density right now. Yeah. It's like right now we're all at 6 density, and I'm the team captain, and I'm only picking people who understands what 6 density is. Like legit shit. If that makes sense to you, then right, because it's life. Life is a game, is it not? And I understand the density that most people don't. And so that means I'm only going to deal with people, when I say only, in the team building. This doesn't mean that you can't be 4th density, 3rd density, 2nd. Like, this doesn't mean that your understanding of, doesn't mean you can't be in that person's life. But in order to build, yeah, real shit. Like if you understand 5th and 6th density, then for you, that means that you operated wisdom philosophically. You're not looking at judging, oh, she's this, he's that. You get to be this being. And so operating out of these densities lets you know through consistency who you really are. Once again, the point of breaking this down is that if you yourself are trying to figure it out, where were you born? You start connecting your life. If you want a one-on-one, or we get to that section in our talks, is that you'll start realizing that you've always been awakened, star seeds, a lot of you are. And right now we're trying to ascend. And my job is where you're at, you're perfect. Now let's get you to the next step. Here's the good news is you don't have to worry about it. It's already happening. You just got to trust the process. And then in the meantime, let's enjoy the moment. What you want to do, color, play pool, talk about this, talk about that. And before you know it, you'll be like, man, I feel happy. Yes. Yep. You didn't have to do nothing. Watch this. How many of y'all feel better just listening to me talk? And I ain't done shit to you, have I? That's 6th density power. I'm going to say that again. How many of y'all feel better? Everybody's mind should just be like, what the fuck? I just realized what he said. How many of y'all's psychologically minds feel better? And you've never met me. Understand that's a power. This is a 6th density power. Do you not feel love and accepted? Like, this is why one of my friends was like, you gonna fuck around and start a cult. And I was like, I'm not trying to. Somebody said I giggled, right? Right. You don't know me. I ain't never met y'all. I love y'all though. I really do love y'all. And so here it is, right? For those who's watching, I'm sure there's people like, what the fuck is happening? Some people can't even scroll away. It makes no sense. Ladies and gentlemen, I am a real alien. They've always known. So they've always, not always, they've always known though. And so the aliens got past everybody with me. All right. They've been trying to create these beings for quite some time. This is why knowledge, mega inspiration, there it is. I am an alien. Everybody's excited. Well, I didn't fucking know. All right. How long y'all been waiting? How many of us? Hey, there's a lot of noise right now. With great wisdom comes much suffering. Yes. My eyes, oh my God. Wow. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah, somebody just said that. I saw it. I saw it. You said it loud, Patricia. Yeah, whoever I am, I'm very, yeah. So if you're here, you're not here by accident. It's like you're part of this. Whew. This is they wouldn't believe it if I said it. And I said it I don't know how many times. I'm a fucking alien. Check this out. Ex-wife number one said it. She knew it. She didn't ouch. She didn't trust her instincts. That was the universe saying stop. Right? She didn't trust her instincts though. Yeah, I'm okay. Yeah, that's what's up. Like, hey, Karen. For those who can enter my mind, understand that that's very dope. And the reason being is because I used to say shit like, whoever can enter my mind gonna have to understand that you will never know a world like mine's. I didn't know I was really going to get that wish. So enjoy. I really ain't scared of shit. It's pretty interesting. Like, now that I know that I can create my reality. So we got some work to do, huh? 1, 2, 3. It's nice to meet y'all. Hey, I laughed when I said that I'm an alien, and then I had a flashback to time where it says that aliens will reveal themselves to the world, and I was just like, yeah, right. Like, what I'm gonna say, I'm an alien. I'm just like, and so I can see now that I am an alien. Yep, I really took you to Mars. Somebody say you really did take us to Mars. Yep. Yep, you're looking at a real live 6th density human being. And we're here. Some of y'all are like undervaluing your powers, but it's like part of the process. Like somehow, because of the trauma that I've went through, I've wiped, for those who see me wipe my own tears and shit. And yeah, like for those who see, yeah, like those who see me like struggle and like try to figure shit out and like no friends. And when I say no friends, like when you hear the darkness towards it, you're like, damn, it's not like I didn't have any friends. It's just when you hear the details, like, yeah, how do you walk up to your friend and say that shit? And so I am definitely powerful. And I do love you all. Like, which it makes sense now why I'm so comfortable to say that I love you. Mega, I've seen you a couple times. There's a couple of y'all who catches my eye. And so, yeah, some of y'all are. But we got it now. We are all one. Yeah? Yeah. I was just like, whatever I can do as far as magic, I'm going to be like one of those, like, holy shit, kid. Like, yeah. Because I don't see the world like everybody. I don't ever see defeat. And so I have practice of seeing something different over and over and over and over and over and over. And if you want to be that person, you need to have the ability to change perspective like this. And so because of the world that I've lived in, I've had people who've, man, but I wish I was friends with my exes because there's some shit that I've experienced. I'm like, remember when we was thinking about that? And then, yeah, that was happening. Like, I'm in this bitch. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, like, for those who's in my life, I tell y'all now, like, oh, shit. Like, oh, my gosh. Yeah, this is... haven't felt that our strangers felt such love for everyone and familiarity. Oh my gosh, this is beautiful, y'all. Thank you, Mega. This is it's so dope because I now get all of why I used to put myself through such mental exercises of darkness. Man, I'm telling you, I used to be in my head fucked up because no one knew what the fuck I went through. No one, people still don't believe it. I be saying, and people be like, he lying. I'm like, all right, wait till you meet my brother. You see how my mouth is? Man, my brother a beast. Like, I love that brother. Like, I be like, hey, man, they not your enemy. No, fuck them, Kyle. And this is when we were younger, as opposed to feeling stronger in love. But when you start hearing him say shit, and then you be like, Kyle said the same thing. And I just be like, I told you. Nobody makes up memories about sleeping with two-man fool. Like, that shit is nasty. Right? And so after a while, what happens when a person has to go through thinking about sleeping with two men every day of their motherfucking life? And they were kids. And it happened for years. Something very odd happens to humans. So a lot of us has dealt with a lot of trauma. I have a friend that has dealt with trauma, and this memory haunts her. And so she couldn't see that I could see histories and darkness. All my exes that told me every bad story in their life, automatically I saw this thing that allowed me to see it in a non-judgmental view, sixth dimension, use love to their situation, use logic to what it is that they're doing, apply what we call common sense and compassion, and then they start feeling that kind of feel where they're like, man, I feel better. Yes, because, and I learned I'm the one. This is sucky. I'm the one was a video that I saw with Dr. Strange. And so it's when the ancient one is talking to Dr. Strange, and I had a question in my head. I'm like, man, what am I? Like, really? Am I like the, right? And so finally it says, I'm the one. It said, the one to do what? And here it is. This is what I can do. I teach you how to align your spirit to heal your mind and body. And every person who's ever been in my life, that's exactly what I've done. There isn't an ex, a child, a boss, a friend, a leader. There isn't anybody in this world who would put Kyle Wilson in that term. And I hope they do if they exist. Because the contrast of 100 people saying, nah, I'm sorry. Maybe he fucked you up. I don't know what the situation was. I'm just saying. And so that consistency is now my understanding is that I've had the ability to affect your spirit, and I was doing it indirectly because I operate from sixth dimension. And this is where your spirit realm, we understand things from this realm. So no matter what you said, no matter if you were swingers, if you were black, if you was white, if you was gay, if you was tranny, if you was tall, if you was big, if you was whatever, I fuck with you. You was my homie. I wanted you to get down and have fun and laugh and joke. Like, I wanted you to do that shit just like they do on TV. I want to do that shit too. Let's do that shit together. But we got judged. We got made fun of. You didn't look as good. You didn't have that much money. And so, like, somebody just said it. So God damn it, right? Like, I'm gonna love my exes. And so somebody just like, I know your exes are fucking themselves up. And I'm just like, no, they're not. Like, all right. A few, maybe. They didn't know. Yo, I didn't fucking know. What was I supposed to do? Hi, my name is Kyle. I'm an alien. What's up? What? No, like, no. Like, it doesn't work that way. They were like, you're weird. And that's what happened. So now what happens is that, well, what happens to them? Well, they learn to accept. They're like, damn, I had that motherfucker in my life. What happened again? It was his fault. Oh, here he is talking about he an alien though. So was it his fault? And it was both of our faults. And so if anybody's feeling that way, like, reach out so I can give you the guidance and understand that this was supposed to happen so that we can be truly a family, friends. This is not, I want to be your husband. This is not, I want to be your wife. This is not, I want a house. This is not, I want a car. This is not, I want some kids. This is not, I want some money. This is not none of that. This is, I love him. Why? Do I need a reason? But we're afraid to bring that heat. I love my ex-wife. Why? Do I need a reason to loving you? No, I don't. So why are you questioning me? So those people rock differently, right? You know what I'm saying? So this is exciting like a motherfucker. All right, we're going to finish this. Now I'm going to let y'all go because I know I got to contact some people, man. Y'all are in my head. This is dope. The raw contact will be finished probably by tomorrow because I see now what's happening. But yeah, there's aliens, y'all, and they figure a way out to get here. And whoever the view of, like, I know how to be in people's lives based off of density and energy, and I accept sexuality wholeheartedly. And so all I have to do is receive or return, and return is not rejection. Rejection is redirection. This is easy. Like, this is literally that easy. Like, I'm the person who's able to say, hey, what's up, Rich Vikings? I love your company. I was wondering if baby 80s. If they say no, I'm like, okay, cool. If they say, yep, all right, cool. And because I know that no matter what I say / do, is love. All right, here we go.
Into a lower vibrational body. You can, yes. Because you sort of pass that.
Y'all gotta give me a minute to learn how to like hear the voices, like if somebody's talking to me. I'm telling y'all, man, there's sometimes but no one knows I've been doing this my whole life. No one knows that when I was a kid, I heard everybody's voice. Like, you know how they talk about movies? And like, just imagine watching a movie. It's like, when I was a kid, I used to hear everybody's voices. But I'm told, shut the fuck up, Wilson. Wilson, shut up, you don't know nothing. Little boy, shut up, you don't know nothing. So I'm just sitting here like, right there in front of you, a full alien. But no one believes me. Ask my exes, man, where you at? I'm sitting outside of Walmart just because I went shopping at night. This is why I did all my single sports. This is why I was a person who did sports by themselves. This is kind of like the guaranteed proof. I couldn't do a lot of things with other people because I was reading shit. And so the universe said, no, do not put this man into, well, he's athletic. He's going to we'll put him in track, swimming, bodybuilding, individual things. And so as a team builder group, yeah, it was good. I almost went to the Marine Corps. I almost became an officer. That would have led to higher status. I almost got adopted. That would have led me away from my brothers. I almost did football and basketball and all this other stuff. And I was able to hear people's thoughts. Like, people are not seeing it. Like, I was able to read thoughts. That means I would have been a good player. But like, now what? Another black athlete, right? We got enough. They didn't want no rappers. They didn't want no black. This shit is nuts, y'all. So
so that's not going to affect you. But if a fourth density being tried to incarnate into a fifth density body, so their soul frequency isn't yet harmonized with the evolution of the fifth density body, so there's a disconnect there, or a chaotic frequency that happens, and so essentially they wouldn't live very long. They wouldn't be able to sustain life in that body. And that's also apparently, Ross says, why some children just, either die in utero or after birth very quickly. So some of those cases are because it was a lower density being trying to sort of skip too far ahead.
Wow.
And they just couldn't quite sustain.
Lower density being trying to skip too far ahead. And so this is how I know why now I was chosen. I was born on drugs. And so how was I able? Everybody's asking, like, how are you able not to have AIDS, bro? For those who know about me and women, like, the details. Right? I didn't use a condom. That's why I got so many kids. But I was born on drugs and raped as an infant. Why am I able to survive such trauma? Well, the body in creation had to be traumatized. And so this is my mother on LSD. And so I do believe through theory and understanding that in order for our bodies, or my body, to receive the ability to be born in sixth density, my body had to survive some of the most mind-blowing trauma for such a long time, so that when I became, for lack of better words, popped, it's 333 right now, then I can see it with precision that me being born on drugs and being raped and all this other stuff allowed me to constantly be in suffering. Holy shit, this is crazy. Constantly be in suffering. Suffering is how you advance, but we don't hurt our children. We don't hurt our children, do we? Nope. So our children are not going to suffer. Yeah, it's crazy right now. I'm about to blow some minds. Our children are not going to be suffering. And so we're going to love our child. I wasn't loved. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't cared for. Like, I got it, Dad. If you out, right? I got it. But when you see the full story, you be like, that's a child's life? And it's not just me. There's a group of these children that's being born like this. And so from being able to see how they're understanding, they're explaining density, makes me realize that being born on drugs put my body, state of mind, spirit, or what have you, to continuously be in that stressful form. So stress, teenage stress, young adult stress. Here I'm grown, stress, pop. Right? And so everybody knows that through stress, lifting weights, going to the gym, right? Can you imagine lifting weights and going to the gym for 10 days, for 10 years? You'd be pretty strong, would you not? For constantly just lifting weights, you'd be pretty strong. You have a pretty nice body, right? 100%, right? So for me, I've been lifting weights spiritually, psychologically, physically, since the day of from being conceived. Because of that continuation and because of that stress, you have now what you consider to have, like, this is your abs. And like, when I say being spiritual has made me sexy as fuck, I'm not playing. Man, I'm 176. I'm in this motherfucker looking like a king, right? Because that's not how I used to rock myself. I ain't been working out. I do push-ups with my son. It ain't like I'm in the gym with this great diet, eating a lot of food. I eat less. Somehow I got stronger.
Existing in that kind of a body because of their frequency.
Wow.
So they go back, oh, let's try that again. Not ready for that yet.
I figured it out.
You have listened to these sessions, 160 or so sessions, 3 times or more, yeah?
Yeah, 3 times.
So each time, do you gather something new every time you hear it?
It's like I've never listened to it before.
Wow.
That's how fresh it is.
Wow. Whew, yeah. Raw.
Amazing.
Amazing.
All right, so I do believe that's pretty much the gist of it. If you have listened to me and everybody else go back and forth and trying to combine the dots, right now you're part of the alignment as well. I understand vibrations in ways that's pretty dope. Please check out the Raw Contact, CONTACT, the Law of One. Here's how I will get you to kind of like cheat the code. For my friends now who can telepathically understand things, here's, right? I don't know how you figured it out. This is how I figured out my own thoughts versus other thoughts. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't say anything unkind to myself. When I say I'm the shit in my head, I ain't fucking around. And so no one should have told me that you can make yourself what you want to be. I'm going to say this again. No one in the world should have said, Kyle Wilson, you can be whatever the fuck you want to be. So when I say I am king in this motherfucker in my head, like I'm excited to be this person in my head, like I'm right. And the people are in my head. I'm just like, maybe I'm like, when am I doubting myself? I've skydived. I've jumped off of high diving buildings. I pole vaulted. Like, I ain't scared of shit. Like, people don't see it though. And then they start hearing things like, did he really do this? Like, yeah, I would be scared to do that. He wasn't. And so when I have my thoughts in my head, like I say them as if I wanted to say them. I've been rehearsing shit in my head the whole time. 95% of my videos, y'all, for the time that I've been making them, I spit that shit. I do not rehearse. I don't write it down and think about it. There are 95% of my videos. 5%, I'll sit there and write some stuff. 9 times out of 10, I'll press the record button, I spit, and edit, and I send it. Unless I'm reading something, but I almost forgot my point. Oh, as far as your own thoughts, when it comes to trying to hear your thoughts, understand that you do not speak negatively to yourself. Understand that. Every negative thought you've ever had in your entire life that you consider to be negative, it's not negative. It's a thought for you to think about, and it's there because somebody else put it there. And so if the thought is not something that's going to make you feel bad or good, then throw the thought away. But if the thought somehow puts you in a way where you're like, I don't want to think about that. Somebody kept asking, is he gay? And I'm like, why am I asking myself, am I gay? Like, that sounds so stupid. I'm telling you, and then I figured it out. It's like, it's not me. Somebody wants to know if I'm gay. And then I saw Prince. Prince came down in my subconscious. I'm like, look at Prince. And as soon as I said it, everybody was like, oh, well, shit. Yeah, everybody thought Prince was gay. We don't know who he could be. He can't be. They don't give a shit, nigga. It was Prince. Like, who's going to question it? It's Prince. You can be like, Prince gay. Prince could be like, whatever, bitches. Whatever. Right? And we still able to be fluid. That's why he did the whole sex symbol. Like Prince was from, I want to say Prince was sixth density, but I would say high level fifth. He believed in unity, but it's like there was no help. Like it was like he was fighting an uphill battle because of how the system is set. Like certain people couldn't get the message. Certain people couldn't get it all together. And so they kept getting these high fifth density beings and they just couldn't. Right? And so for me in my head to hear this thought, I was just like, I am not fucking gay. Like, this is crazy. And then I started to realize, like, there are people in your head that you hear something as simple as, should I go get chicken? Oh, no, I don't need no chicken. Then why the fuck did you ask her, should you go get chicken? Because you want fucking chicken. Oh, you don't believe me? Okay. Did you ask if she gonna eat glass? Oh, you didn't ask that? Okay. Did you ask if she could play in traffic? No one in the world asked that? Yeah. So there's people we know that talks about suicide and hurting themselves, right? Okay, cool. Stick to the basic analogy of 1, 2, 3. I can make this simple as ABC. Here it goes. If you have a thought in any way, shape, form, or fashion, and it's not to hurt you, then go with it. And for you to make sense and have legit confirmation and validation for it, is that I use funny examples like, did you think about chewing glass today for breakfast? And the person laughed. No, that's a stupid question. Did you think about jumping off the building today? And the person laughed. No, that's a stupid question. I said, stop. It's not a stupid question. There are people who walk by this building and ask themselves that question. And then the person says, oh, well, yeah, you're right. Well, no, I don't want to be right. I need you to listen. If you now understand that you didn't ask to jump off this building, then why is it when you ask if you wanted chicken, you got to fucking question it? And then all of a sudden you say, no, I don't want no chicken. That's not your voice. Intuitively, you know what it is you want to do. You just got to make the decision if you would actually like to do it or not. Not if you should or shouldn't. It's vibrationally. There's nothing wrong underneath the law of one. When I say I'm a beast in this bitch, I'm a beast in this bitch. There's nothing wrong underneath the law of one. So if you want to jump off the building, by all means, pimp, that's your business. I ain't got shit to do with it. Don't worry, you'll be back. Whatever density you're operating at, you'll die and you'll be born in the next baby that's coming in. You don't believe me? You better check the books. I understand this shit. And so when you yourself says, I feel like doing A, B, C, and D, and you didn't say you didn't feel like eating glass or playing in traffic, and you know motherfuckers is thinking about playing in traffic, so don't question what it is you feel like doing. Next time you feel like doing something, do it. That's your intuition guiding you. When you fight against it, such as doubt or second guessing, that's your intuition trying to get you to listen. Instinctively, you might want to move just a little bit slowly because you're not as confident as you think you are. I'm not saying you shouldn't do it. I'm saying you should be slow when you try to pursue it. But don't fight against your intuition. The reason why you thought about eating fucking chicken is because you thought about eating fucking chicken and you really do want chicken, but you grew up in a world where you shouldn't follow your intuition. So this allows you to second guess. This is no different than me making an example of, did you think about jumping off the building? You said, no, that's silly. But you know, there are people who think about jumping off the building. They really want to jump off that building, right? And so you didn't think about eating glass, and you understand that now in the Guinness Book of World Record, there's a man that can eat glass and metal. And I saw that a while ago. So here you are right now as a man or a woman saying that you want to do this thing. And the only reason why you didn't do it is because you stopped yourself. No one else can tell you what to do. When you understand that with precision and clarity, then mind reading becomes very easy. I know what I like. I know what I want. I finally stopped being afraid to tell people what the fuck I will and won't do. It pisses people off now. They call me arrogant. I say, that's too bad. If you decide to do these things, then by all means, it's your intuition trying to guide you. You see what I'm saying? And so now when you have that strength and you're able to be that person, when the people that's in your life, you get to be now explorative. And that's what I'm excited for, is that now I get to be vulnerable. Like, I like to do this. They be like, we know. I'll be like, yeah, that's right. You do. So you want to go try this and get to the point where now you're trying things brand new, shit that you used to just dream about, you know, like manifesting stuff. But now it comes easy to you. So whatever your intuitive answer is to anything, it could be a question like, man, I wonder what she's thinking. Whatever your answer is, do y'all know that's the actual fucking answer? It's weird. It'd be funny if she thought I was cute. You could have thought about anything. You could have thought about her throwing a baseball at your face. But we think that thought, and for those part of the community, there are no coincidences. None. And so enjoy the glitz and glam, knowing who you are. The money, the women, the men, the children, the marriages, the religion, the spirituality, the unity, the government, this country, that country. Like, the world created all this so we can experience. And so now the higher level density beings is like, y'all know that world y'all trying to get to, flying shit and love and peace. Yeah, we can't get y'all that shit. We can't get y'all that shit if y'all keep being mean. I'm telling y'all, bro, like, I'm on some lit shit. Like, they're up there like, we can't get y'all not gonna see none of that. And what's happening is that the higher beings, the higher powers that have money, people who think money controls shit, that's why I'm here. Like, no, it don't. You don't believe me? Take everything from him. Watch. You don't believe me? We made sure that motherfucker suffered. We took his kids from him. We showed him child support, divorce. Take everything from that brother. Watch what happened. So either you help him or he'll do it by himself. And so then it gets to this point of feeling the truth of, can you really be you and have that consistency of enjoying life without people judging you? And so I'll be able to have my banquets and orgies every night of my life. Like I've seen Hugh Hefner do my entire fucking 80s and 90s. I saw that brother do that all the time. And then I saw all this other stuff. And what we think, porn is for fake? No, people's lifestyle is really this way, but it's uncomfortable for them. Yeah, right. Try to live in a pedophilic world. Porn seems safe. Real shit. Think about it. I'll do porn. Yep, that sounds cool to me, right? And the only reason why I didn't do it is a real story. Oh, that's another reason why. Was military. Just didn't fit it. Outside of that, the stuff I did between time. So having that label of I forgot my point, but having that label of acceptance and knowing that you can win puts you at a very interesting view when people are looking at you like, P.S. y'all, if you feel any type of way with me or whatever the case may be, I know a lot of people are tired through what they've been going through. I need you to know this, that you're the same way as me. You are also operating from these different densities. And my ability is that, just imagine right now, out of 48 people, you knew that you needed nothing else. Like, this is it. Like, this is, you don't need another dollar. Like, and all I said was just words. 47 people. Like, that means that if a piece of advertisement came on, you wouldn't feel obligated to purchase it. If a man asked you to do something that you've never done, you wouldn't feel like that man was a piece of crap. If a woman asks you to attempt this thing that's been you wouldn't feel like that attempt was something to play. Like 49 people, and you could literally be as free as you can fucking imagine and have fun and like just be a being. Like, I want ice cream today. I want to try burgers. I want to try steak. I want to watch TV. I want to play video games. I want to go over here. I want to go over there. And you get to do all these things in such a way that you are always 100% at your perfect moment. If that makes sense to you, that's what I can now constantly do. And so I'm constantly like in this bing, like this bing. Like, it could be painful and I'm still like bing. It could be like the most violent thing and I'm still like bing, right? So if you yourself understand that and enjoy that, hang out with me, right? I'm about to get off, but like, thank you. No, oh, I thought you said say it. Why you sad? Hang out with me. Let's become continuous growing friends. We're already friends, if that makes sense. Like, we're already who we think we are. P.S. Stop labeling shit. Stop feeling like you got to do anything extra. Like, you are the same exact person as I am. Consider me a private guide, and my words that I've said are already in your subconscious. In the meantime, I've created quite a bit of content that has allowed us to be continuously connected. And so in a very comforting way, if you feel that I can somehow help you understand you're right, it's not a coincidence, because me helping you 100% helps me. And this is how I know, like, the donations and the currency and money and putting me in contact with people and helping me and all the other stuff that I know y'all are trying to figure out how we gonna get this kid off. Like, there's people right now trying to figure out, like how big, yep. Because I'm a baby. Like, I'm a baby. Like, this is why Lil Baby, Lil Wayne, this is why they get that. Because they're part of that density. And now they get it, like, oh, like, now I'm like the biggest, probably like one of the biggest babies in the world. I'm not, we got enough little babies, Lil Wayne, they can have it, right? We're just going to roll with use love first, right? That would be my thing. And then we'll go over that. Oh, baby king. Baby king. Baby raw. Somebody said baby raw. Somebody said baby raw. That's pretty dope. Either way, right? So, I like Baby King. I like Baby Raw. I like I like Baby Raw. I like Use Love First too. And all of this is existing. I call myself a baby C. You're 61 years old. Good. Hey, I'm telling you, when it clicks, like, you get it. And so the love towards it, right? This is like now I am you and you are me. Understand that I can explain things to you that's more than just saying that I am you and you are me. I am you because you are here. I love you because you are deserving of love. If you're not deserving of love, then scroll away. If you know that you're deserving love, then stay. If you feel that I can love you in a way that's receivable or acceptable to you, then stay. If not, then don't. I don't want you to do anything that disrupts your flow of love. If you feel that me in your life allows you to feel a greater level of love, then God damn it, let me fucking love you. If not, then I'm not going to be mad. I want you to do and get whatever the fuck you want. And so if I'm able and accepting to your energy, remember, freaking love is not a physical thing. So for those who kind of like roll into the whole physical thing, sometimes it's like, man, I can't wait to meet y'all. God damn, I can't wait to meet y'all. Right? Baby Raw King flows. Oh, baby. We'll probably stay away from the baby. I think I'm too big to be a baby, right? We'll come up with something. King Raw. King. Rockin'. Either way, there's people who's having fun right now. So understand that we're here. This is a growth, a collective. There's people I now know that I can send more energy. Now that I know that I'm 6 density, I also now know that I have abilities like good luck with, so like being manipulated is not going to be able to be a thing. People who have higher levels of love, it's hard to Raw King. That sounds pretty dope too. I think that's what I was thinking. It's dope itself. Raw King. Ah, the motherfucker. Because it's double standard, the kids and everything. They got 5 kids, so they probably like raw, like raw, like wow. Yeah, we're going to meditate on that one, but that sounds quite fitting. Raw King. Huh. Raw King rockin'. Baby Raw King. Baby rockin'. Baby rockin'. Baby rockin'. I'm at Raw. This is crazy, man. Raw King does sound like fire, doesn't it? Yeah. This is crazy, y'all. Boy, I'm about to start blushing. Y'all gotta stop, man. Somebody's doing some stuff. Hey, breathe. Shit. 1-on-1 before you go. Excuse me. All right, so Man, y'all are beautiful. Yes, Ra is a god. Ra was not trying to be a god. All right, whoever said that, jabroni, Ra was not trying to be a god. I'm not trying to be a god. And so Ra is here now. And Ra was like, if we arrived, right? They say in the book, if we arrived in our truest, we would consider light or gods. And they're like, don't do that. Like, and like, y'all see me fighting my tears. Yeah, I fucking love y'all, man. And Ra was trying to tell y'all, like, stop admiring people. Like, God damn it. Do not admire me. Like, but fucking love me like you've never fucking loved anybody. And so we love, like we admire Michael Jackson and these actresses and people what we call high status, but we won't give the same love to people of what we call lower status. Like why? Like why? Why can't the person that's on TV receive the same love as the infant who just got raped by this man? Like why? Why are they not? Why is that even possible? Why is that even existing? Why is that right? This is where they didn't send anybody. Like they have different essences on how to understand. So they made sure that I was as beastly as I can be, and so I can see things like why is this man that's on TV being loved, but I'm being raped? So we got a problem, ladies and gentlemen. I forgot where I was going with that. Yeah, the name Raw King. I love a roofer. Oh, somebody said ask for one-on-one. So understand that this is where we're going with this, is to find the unity. This is where the sixth dimension. So if you yourself want a one-on-one and you feel like that what I'm saying can provide guidance to you, please hit me up. If you want a one-on-one direct message through TikTok, or you can reach out through any other platforms. I do my best to try to check all of them. If you hit Twitter, I'll start checking Twitter. No one hits me up on Twitter, but it's usually Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. I'll give my number out. I know there's a lot of things that's about to change. Like I know there's a lot of people that's about to come into my life. Like I know there's a lot, right? And so I want to help one-on-one. If it's a question, I'll answer questions, shoot questions to me. If it's, if you want to support, you want to donate, use Love First, $ use Love First for Cash App and Venmo. Somebody said, don't do that. Listen, if you want to watch more of the videos, man, this is different. If you want to watch more of the videos, go ahead and go to hashtag use Love First for YouTube. The donations itself is to have the continuous growth. Of course, what it is you see, there's going to be meet and greets. There's going to be one-on-ones, like meeting. There's going to be, somebody said I probably wouldn't have time for all that. Cash App should be, damn boy. Cash App probably is, Cash App is in my bio. Sorry, Cash App is $ use Love First. Love is love. Love is love. This is love, love. Yeah, man. All right. I don't want to forget the little people. Like, I'm not one of those. I love y'all, man. Y'all is dope as shit. All right, I'm a night owl, y'all, so I'm about to kick it with my little boy. I can still hear him in there. For those who is communicating with me, y'all got my number. We can do this other thing. I guess is probably don't need technology. Never mind. We can if you can help me out, right? Because there's things that I'm understanding on how to do, and I am a baby at this. And so if there's people who have skills on how to enhance that or strengthen, please reach out to me. I would be greatly appreciated. I will start going live a little earlier. I keep saying that, but I keep saying it so it can manifest itself. But when I wake up, then I go live, which would be about like 5 or 6. Thank you. Y'all are. Yeah. So as long as the FBI ain't trying to show up, right? Hey, it's a lot of y'all, man. And so you can feel it, man. You can feel the pressure. Like there's a lot of y'all. So I can hear a lot. Like, oh my God, you can feel the pressure. When I say pressure, it doesn't hurt. It's just like sometimes I feel like I'm about to sneeze. So for those who, yeah, somebody said he's really pure. Yep, I promise you I am. I did my best. Yes, I am this pure. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. I trust me. I'm about to cry too. All right. Okay. All right. This is like nuts. All right, y'all. So who's watching telepathic people? Right. Yep. So pure of heart. Like, thank you. That doesn't mean that my mind never had a bad thought. Understand that there's a way to be, for lack of better words, that 95%. It's not easy to do something in a negative way and stay committed towards it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it takes a very special power. And so to stay pure of heart through the darkness or through the light is still a path to what you call enlightenment. But you get to choose on what to do with your powers. This is your world. This is your life. Can't nobody force you to do nothing. And some people figure it out and they figure it out on the dark side and they don't get the light. Some people figure it out on the light, but they're usually they're too old. Or if they do figure it out in the light, they become like artists or rappers or entertainers, and they try to do their thing and be like, we got it. I'm going to change the world. I'm going to rock this. I'm going to be right. And all that stuff starts coming out. And so these people that's in my head was like, we're not doing this. We're going to do something different. So for those who's already in my head, like, yeah, whatever we're about to do, it's like, right. They see my future, right? Like, now that I know people have been in my head, like, it's real. Like, yeah, like, oh, wow. That's why people are going to treat me different. That's very interesting, because I have nothing to hide. And so you'll feel more comfortable doing for me. Holy shit. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's a lot. I have nothing to hide. So, yep. That's new. That's a new level of love. Oh my gosh. Whoo! Hey, y'all. Ha! Ha! Oh my gosh. Y'all good? Oh shit. How many of it? Oh, y'all. Oh, so y'all been, yeah, I have nothing to hide. So y'all been trying to see if I would still want to be with my exes. This is why y'all freak out when I reach out to them. And so y'all happy that they didn't reach. Oh my gosh. Y'all is a trip. This is y'all some. All right. Okay. Well, I have nothing to hide. I love them all. I've tried. And yeah, I don't hide my exes. I just protect their names because I didn't know I was a fucking alien, but we get it now. All right. Test. I have test. Oh, wow. This is some superhero shit. Somebody's freaking the fuck out. Y'all good? I just said somebody the other day, what if we are the aliens? Yep, we are the aliens. I can tell you now that we are. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, the uploads are fucking nuts. Yes. There's a lot going on, y'all. Like, this enhances me to a level that's going to change me in one night, right? Simply of knowing that I can be vulnerable. All I'm going to tell you right now is be careful what you ask for. I mean that. So this is dope. Like, right? Like you can stand in a room talking to people and people just be looking at you. You talk about it. I ain't say shit. I just looked at you. You read my mind. I'm just fucking looking at you. Stop freaking the fuck out. Like, goddamn, you gonna make me read your mind if you don't stop. I'm just looking at you. And so this is different. So now I'm like, this is how I know that this level of density is real, because I'm reading fucking minds and I don't know who all you are. So, all right. I feel like I'm just going to get off and y'all can still talk to me, but I'm just going to go ahead and do what I normally do. I don't know what to tell you. I love y'all. Oh my gosh, yes. Witch Viking, I love you. Crystal Kepler, I love you. Mega Inspiration, I love you. Fayette Ford, I love you. Healing Vince 6, I love you. Scroggins, I love you. More One Love, I love you. Blue 3333, I love you. Rahim Desires, I love you. Patricia Caldwell 3, I love you. Cappy Son, I love you. Official Saltaire, I love you. San Ginley, I love you. Eliza Malberg 222, I love you. Wanda Chocolate, I love you. Miles Away, I love you. Rebecca.88, I love you. Angela Love 26, I love you. Define Answer, I love you. Hey, y'all is Russell 311, I love you. 111, I love you. Everyone stay strong, I love you. Roselli Boutique, I love you. Oh, Surf Daddy, I love you. I was trying to figure out how did the collective get on TikTok for a while now, and I understand how. It was inevitable. It was inevitable. There was no way that it couldn't happen. Yeah. Ashley Boy 1231, I love you. Kim 202, I love you. For Drake Williams Ski, I love you. Rihanna Earthing, I love you. One More Girl 54, I love you. Chevy Heavy Ivy, I love you. K Marie 1977, I love you. Shortage 84, I love you. The Soto Group, I love you. In the Carinia, I love you. Amanda Cody 4, I love you. Francisco 33, I love you. X Cash Bash, I love you. The Last Orc, I love you. Almond Sweets, I love you. Sean Lawn, I love you. Choo Choo 3, I love you. String 913, I love you. Fritz 0015, I love you. Kadisha Shot 1, I love you. And Nels, I love you. Man, let me tell y'all, I love all y'all. If I didn't see you, trust me, I fucking felt you. I am who I am through development. And now that I know that I am who I am, I get to be even more me, if that makes sense. And so I don't have to question if I'm hearing voices. I don't have to question if I'm tripping, if this is a good idea or a bad idea. I now know that I have this whole community. And I'm a leader. I can hear the universe differently than most of you all can. Like the universe actually talks to me, like actually talks. And I know how to listen. Other people too, but not like me. And so I seem to have like a direct contact. Oh shit. I have a direct, oh shit. So I can tell when they're pissed. I can tell when their music come in, they'll play some shit. Like I'm telling you, I'll go pick a song and play boop. And then I'll be listening to the music like, nigga, I feel like somebody talking to something. And then it starts clicking. And I'm just like, holy shit. So, yeah. My diet has been, man, hey, let me tell y'all this so I can go. Man, I made some goddamn mushrooms last night. I might make them hoes again, man. For me and my son. Like, the mushrooms were good. Like some portobello mushrooms. I did some butter, saute with some thyme, some seasoning. I did some dope shit like oh shit, yeah. I see things differently. Yes, I made some great ass portobello mushrooms, so I can't wait to get around people. And for those if you vegan, I fucking got you, right? We're gonna have some portobello mushrooms. Them motherfuckers is dope as shit. But yeah, we definitely need to get ready to learn how to meet up because this is dope. Oh, Berg. So if y'all know y'all learning who I am, y'all realize that I am an energy being, and I'm like holding energy in right now. Like I'm in this motherfucker. Like, I want to get off so I can go, right? And so when people get around me, I'm telling you now, when y'all get around me, you'll see what I mean. Like, I had, now y'all know my exes and stuff. I had an ex, I'll never forget it. I was laying in bed and I was watching cartoons in the middle of the night. And I laughed. I was like, my bad, I'm sorry. All right, I laughed. She was just like, no, no, no. It's better to, or she said, I think it's cute that you are that happy, like laughing at cartoons. I was like, my bad. Right? Like, this is all the time. So y'all in my head, what if I told you you're a dream come true? You didn't get it. Growing up, I was abused by every human in my life. I can say this to every human that walks past me. There's people who've never caused me harm. They have special names and memories to me. There's some people that all they do is cause me harm, but they don't do it because they don't love me. They do it because they were taught to do that. And so there are people in my mind, and there's only one way for you to get inside of my mind. At this time, you have to be loving. If a person is not loving, then their connection is severed. Because you start doubting yourself. And when you start doubting yourself, you'll disconnect that. And so I now know something about me, is that I'm going to advance a lot faster than people may realize, because I can speak things differently. So because I no longer have to hide anything or feel embarrassed about things, there are people who are in my mind who can help make sense of things. And so now that that's happening, it almost becomes like not challenge, but more like if you really trust us, then, right? And then I'm like, you know how I know I can trust you? Irrefutable evidence. You should have heard the thoughts before you came in. This is how I know you're my friends. Does that make sense? You can say the scary stuff I used to say to myself. The scary shit that was in my head, you'll never say it to me. And so I became Superman psychologically. And so if there's somebody in my mind saying something unkind, I probably don't want to do that. Because psychologically, I'm just as strong as I am lovingly. And so to have this type of love comes with a very unique type of strength. And I can say as a fairness, that's not something you want to see if it's worth protecting. Does that make sense? If I'm this loving, do you think that I might have the ability to protect this type of love? Then understand that it's real, right? So if you're in my mind, I know that you're there because you're loving. You wouldn't be. This is no different than when you think about a loved one. It's the same energy. Whether they accept that or not, that's different. Does that make sense? Right? That's different. Like when you think about a loved one, right? Is that not you being loving, right? That's why you thought of them, right? No one really thinks about hateful things, right? If somebody's robbing a bank, they're doing it because they feel like they want to have some type of better quality of life for their children or some type of reason. So when you think about a person, you're thinking about a loving way, right? Here's the comfort level and why I now know 100% that I do hear voices in my head. You can only be there if you love me. So I love you, or I love you too. I am a deep educator of understanding things of love. Like whatever my thing is, it's really about love. It's really about love. And so if you're in my head and you can communicate with me, it's because you are a loving being and you understand that I accept this person, right? That's why everybody's like, what are you? Like, I just want to make sure, what are you? Like, I just want to know, because I got some ideas and I'm just like, I'm this. And everybody, you sure? I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure. I'm like, all right. Just in case? Yep, just in case. Right? And so it's so amazing to now see that, I tricked you. I'm special. But it was kind of like in the background, like, am I special? I be having some crazy ideas. Like, I want to save the world and do all types of shit. Now all of a sudden, this shit is real? Well, I'm going to enjoy the night with my son because I understand that after a while, my life is not going to be the same anymore. So I will be back tomorrow, unless otherwise stated, through what we call life. But Other than that, I appreciate y'all. From telling the truth, I'm so transparent to the point that I can be a casualty of that, but I don't allow it to refrain. Thank you. This was beautiful. Thank you, Susan. Is your sign in Aquarius? No, Aries. It's amazing to see him right in front of your eyes. I feel, oh, wow, that's what's up. Man, y'all is awesome. Honestly, no one can hurt you or uplift but you. Thoughts are vibrations, so think positive. Yes. Yes, once you reach a peaceful mind, your heart will overflow. Understood. Yes, also love the beard. Thank you, Shelly. Man, listen. Okay. Thank you. All right. So yeah. Understand that some of this, there are no bad thoughts. So like all my thoughts are like really positive. Like it could be the most sickest shit. Like it could be like I'm finna like break my elbow, and somebody's like, man, does he really mean that? Hey, some of y'all really are connected, right? Some of y'all are really so I thought it was me who was getting like turned on and shit. That's not me. Some of y'all is really boy, some of y'all love with all your cells. Some of y'all love with all your energy. Some of y'all really do love with each and every fucking breath. And yeah, man, this is crazy. Like I'm over here holding back in my motherfucking chair. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace. Bye. Oh, good God. Y'all's a mess.